Hello everyone, in this video we will be seeing movie 3 of What If Naruto Had Ultra Instinct. So, be sure to stick around until the end. Let's get started. It's been 2 months since Naruto was assigned to this genin team, and he hated it. Not the D-rank missions, because money was money, and also it was them helping a lot of old people he has helped before. So imagine the look on everyone's face when they found out he was never lying about why he was late. His favorite mission had to easily be the Tora mission. To his surprise, this was the same cat that always crossed his path. So when he saw Tora, they had a good old Texas standoff which lasted for about 10 minutes until they rushed at each other. Everyone thinks this was going to be another genin that gets scratched up, but to their shock and horror, a field of flowers appear, and they begin running in slow motion until the end where Tora hops in his arms, and Naruto gushes over Tora. "Oh Tora, you mischievous little cat, I missed you stealing my bentos in our 3-hour chases," he cries anime tears while hugging the cat, causing it to purr in happiness. However, what gets them is the shout of youth in the back causing the sun to shine brighter. The result, an entire block of people passed out along the street. It has happened 3 times already, and the genjutsu was placed in the Forbidden Scroll next to Might Guy and Rock Lee Sunset Genjutsu. However, the combination of the genjutsu were labeled SS rank in the Forbidden Scroll. However, what did piss Naruto off was his sensei's complete show of favoritism these 2 months. Although Naruto didn't need the help, the man could have at least tried to help him or Sakura, however he didn't. And after the first 2 months, Naruto doesn't even call him sensei anymore. He sees the private lessons he gives Sasuke. And well, he was less than impressed by Sasuke's development. He could only guess that Sasuke would only begin copying jutsus with his sharingan when he finally awakens it. That's another thing, Naruto has yet shown them any skills really, or that he has his sharingan. Now here we find Team 7 returning from another D-rank mission. Naruto's favorite, the Tora mission. "Yo old man, we're back from the mission," Naruto says as he is petting Tora. "Baka, show the Hokage some respect," Sakura says and gets ready to swing at Naruto, but Tora hissed at her with claws out and she backed off. Hiruzen chuckles at Naruto. "It's quite alright, Sakura. I allow Naruto to call me that because he is like a grandson to me. Now Tora rescue mission is complete," he says and walks in a fat lady, who they also recognize as the Fire Daimyo wife. She grabs Tora and begins to squeeze the life out of her. "Oh Tora, mommy has missed you so much, you need to stop running away from me," she says, hugging the cat to death. "That's right, squeeze that little demon cat till she pops," Sakura thought. "If she keeps this up, no more Tora missions, which means no more daimyo breathing down my neck about the stupid cat," thought the Sandaime. HN thought, our resident brooder. "Why hasn't Sasuke unlocked his Sharingan yet? Actually, I think already has during the massacre, but can't reactivate it yet," Kakashi thought. Everyone was cut from their thoughts by Naruto. "What the hell are you doing?" he says as he grabs Tora from the lady. "Young man, do you know who I am? I am the daimyo's wife. I demand you show me some respect when speaking to me," she says with a rich snobby voice. "Respect is earned, not given, fat ass. And you were about to kill Tora if you kept squeezing her. I'm sure she hasn't been taken to the vet to check for injuries. Perhaps the way you squeeze the cat is why the daimyo always pulls out while having sex with you. You would just kill the damn baby from squeezing it to death. Now you wait here, I'm taking Tora to the vet." He vanishes to the Inuzuka compound and sees Hana. "Hey Hana, can you do a checkup on Tora for me?" he asks. "Sure, set her down on the table for me." He does, and her hand is surrounded by medical chakra. After 5 minutes her hand turns to normal. Well, all her ribs are bruised and her spine is slightly bruised and out of place a little bit. But minor surgery, and 1 month of rest should do wonders for her, she says, but Tora screeches at the sound of that. "No need, I'll just place an animal medical seal on her. She should be fully healed in about 10 minutes. Shocking Hana. "Is it possible that I can have some of those? I can really use them for our Ninken after missions," she asks. "Sure, they don't work on broken bones, though I've tried it and it didn't work. I'm the reason you have less stray animals that get cuts and bruises, freeing you up for more major injuries and have more free time. They all come to me and only go to you if a bone is broken. I've even set up a compartment at my complex where they don't have to walk up the steps to my apartment. They just go and lay on the seal in a cubby, and it automatically puts the seal in them. The compartment holds 5 animals up to the size of your mother's partner," he says. As he unseals a large scroll from his wrist, he pulls and unseals a tag and places it on Tora, who purrs at the feeling of the medical chakra going into her system. He gives the large scroll to Hana. Inside of the scroll is about 200 medical tags and the instructions on how to make them. Don't worry about adding chakra to seal other than to complete it, since it converts nature chakra into medical chakra, using the correct dosage. I'll come by and build the compartment another time, or just request it from the Hokage if I'm busy. Well, I have to get back to the mission room to finish yelling at the daimyo's wife, so I'll see you around. Oh, and just between us," he means toward her ear and whispers, "If I wasn't waiting to find my certain girl, I would have bent you over this table and completely destroyed that pussy of yours by now." He blew in her ear, making her horny before leaving. Hana was sure of one thing, Genma was definitely getting laid tonight after he returned from his mission. Naruto arrives back at the mission office with Tora in his arms, glaring at the lady. Now let me tell you how much you are hurting Tora. All of her ribs were bruised and her spine was bruised, and slightly out of place. Now I had her fixed up, so I'm not gonna take her from you. Believe it or not, Tora likes the palace. However, she hates when you squeeze her, it hurts. You are too damn big for that, and stop dressing her up. I've seen the pictures, the outfits are horrible, and please get her a male cat. She only leaves the palace when she is in heat. But sadly, all the cats in the village are slobs, he says. So what are you telling me, she asks. Are you fucking stupid? I just told you stop squeezing her, pet her gently like I do. Stop dressing her up in those dumbass outfits and get her a male cat so she can get laid. You do all that, and you don't have to worry about her running away. She says okay, and pays quadruple the amount for the mission. I like him, Hiruzen. Not many have the courage to talk to me like that. I'll keep an eye on you and give a word to the fire daimyo. You may get a recruitment letter if you ever take the Chunin exams and can fight as good as you talk. With that she bows and gently takes Tor wags her tail goodbye at Naruto. Everyone minus Sasuke is looking at Naruto in shock that he just got away with talking by the fire daimyo's wife like that. And put an end to the Tora missions for good. The two Chunin who were in the room walked in front of Naruto and kneeled down and bowed their head to him. We appreciate all your hard work, Naruto-sama. We bestow to you the king of the Tora mission. Out of nowhere they produce a crown and place it on his head. And bow once more. Everyone's sweat drops at this, even Sasuke. Okay, now that whatever that was is over with. Kakashi, are you taking another mission today? He gets a nod in response. Okay, we have painting some fences, cleaning a river, or... He was cut off by Sakura screeching. No, I demand a higher ranked mission. You are holding me and Sasuke-kun back from being great. Give us a higher mission now. So... She was cut off by Naruto, placing a silencing seal on her neck. Thank you, Naruto, Hiruzen said. No problem, old man. However, although we have different reasons, I would like to also say we should take a C-rank mission since C ranks are relatively harmless. Although if you need to be persuaded, I can do that as well. So how are we going to do this, the easy way or the hard way? He asks. Hiruzen wouldn't budge. I'm sorry, Naruto, but I can't allow you to go on a C-rank mission 2 months out of the academy, he says with a no-questions tone. Sasuke looked ready to explode, but Naruto held a hand up for him to stay quiet and let him handle it. Sakura was yelling but no sound was coming out, and Kakashi, although aware of what was going on, was thinking of ways for Sasuke to unlock his sharingan. That's too bad, old man. It would be a shame if these got out to the public and ruined your good image. He said he produced photos of the old man at a brothel in the red light district and some of them after seeing the sexy jutsu and harem jutsu. After seeing the photos, Hiruzen coughed. Well, due to some rather compelling evidence, I will allow Team 7 to take a C-ranked mission. However, he was interrupted by Team 8 walking in. Sorry, Hokage-sama, we were just coming to hand in the mission report. We can wait outside, Kurenai said. Actually, Kurenai, you arrived just in time. I'm assigning Team 7 to a C-rank mission, and I'm adding your team onto the mission as well, he said, shocking her. Are you sure, Hokage-sama? They've only been out of the academy for 2 months, she says. Yes, I've been produced with some rather interesting evidence, so I'm allowing it, he said, glancing at Naruto, who was smiling innocently, which Kurenai knew was fake, having spent time around him, and Anko quite a bit. Send in Tazuna, and walks a man with a straw hat and a sake bottle that was half empty. This is it, a bunch of kids and 2 adults. The pink-haired girl looks like she can't lift a damn twig, the one with the dog looks as dumb as a bag of rocks, the girl with short hair looks blind and seems she would cry if she spills her ice cream, the one with the duck-ass hairstyle looks constipated, and has a pole shoved up his ass making it look worse. The only 2 I can tell has some skill is the blue-eyed boy with the cool hairstyle, and the one with the coat covering his lower face. He looks at Kakashi. Can you even see where you're walking? Then looks at Kurenai and giggles like a pervert. How about during the travel me and you grab a hotel room or share a tent and make some babies? Faster than anybody can see, Naruto grabs Kurenai, who is about to kill the client, but is struggling against Naruto's grasp. Hiruzen, seeing this, spoke up. Your mission starts tomorrow at 8 a.m. Dismissed. Naruto shunshin him and Kurenai to her apartment where she finally calms down. Thank you, Naruto-chan, but how do you know where I live? She asked. I brought you here a couple times after you, Anko and Hana, had your drinking nights at my house since Anko has a room there, and could never be left alone while drunk. He says. She nods. She remembers those nights but never remembers going home. Well, thank you for that as well. Now get going, we have a mission to pack for... She leans and kisses him on the forehead like always, and goes inside Naruto Shunshin home, not seeing the shock and anger on a certain Hyuga face. Next day everyone is on time except for Naruto, who is an hour late. They see him walking up to them but is surrounded by about 20 animals. I'm sorry guys, but I have a mission, it's my job now. But L left enough food for each of you for 2 months as well as the medical area. I've restocked it and added a heating compartment to it as well, so you all have somewhere to sleep at night now. He leans down and they all nuzzle you to him, walking off sad that he was leaving for a long time. Kurenai smiles at that scene, knowing how Naruto took in the stray animals. Kiba, seeing this, openly mocked Naruto. Ha, I guess you need all those animals, after all you're a street rat just like them, causing Sakura to join in. Yeah, baka. Nobody wanted those animals like nobody wanted you. It's fitting, they find comfort in you. Sasuke smirks at that one, causing Sakura to squeal and fangirl over him. While Kiba openly laughs at him, Kurenai looks at Naruto and sees him going through hand seals. Now Kurenai, having been around Naruto quite a bit, recognizes those hand seals and immediately grabs his hand and shakes her head no. He sighs, shined away from them, walking towards Wave. It took them an hour to catch up to him. When they do, they see him tying up two shinobi who Kurenai and Kakashi recognizes as the demon brothers of the mist. Naruto looks at them and sees the shock on everyone's face except Kurenai, and anger on Kakashi and Sasuke faces and lust on Hinata. Kakashi started to berate him. Naruto, what the hell is your problem? Why did you go off on your own? You could have been killed. I should write you up or have you suspended from the ninja program. Kurenai was about to speak up, but Naruto beat her to it. Shut up, Kakashi, we all both know you were only mad because you couldn't see your precious Sasuke in action. Don't act all disciplinary now like you actually care. Since there is another Jonin around and a client to protect you, never discipline the other two members of the team. Let me guess, you see Sasuke, and see a spitting image of yourself from when you were younger, and Sakura's whore of a mother must have let you fuck her again, or paid you off to tolerate Sakura. He says he gets no response. TCH, that's sad. A well-respected shinobi like yourself can be bought, that's a shame. Now I've already interrogated them, you have some explaining to do to Zuna. He says in a tone of voice that reminds Sasuke of his brother again, making him pissed off. After Tazuna explains his story, they decided to continue on, and later they set up camp for the night. Naruto is sitting by a river. When he feels Kurenai walking to him, he doesn't move her, because she is allowed inside the invisible barrier he set up. He can sense Hinata in the trees looking at him, but she can't get through the barrier. She is shocked when Kurenai gets tough and sits next to him. Naruto, are you okay? You let out a bit of anger back there, she says, and wrapped her arm around him, pulling him into a hug, much to Hinata's displeasure. Yay, I'm fine now. I have to vent like that sometimes to not let any darkness grow inside me if I want to master the Kyuubi chakra, he says. What do you mean by that? Can you just force it to give you chakra because of the seal? She asks. No, it doesn't work like that. The Kyuubi chakra is filled with hate and anger, and I have to separate the hate and anger first to gain control over it before taking in the rest of it. If I have any amount of darkness in my body, the hatred will overpower me, killing me in the process before disappearing, he says. What do you mean? She doesn't quite understand, so with a sigh he tells her about him freeing the Kyuubi and the truth behind the Kyuubi attack, and him gaining the Fox contract. Kurenai, shocked and amazed at this, can't help but feel proud of her little brother. Summon a fox so I know you're telling the truth about the contract. Naruto nods and goes through some hand signs before clapping his hands together. Nothing happened, Naruto, she states. I know we have a stalker in the trees. She couldn't hear us, but now she can't see us either. Not even her Byakugan can see through the barrier. He then goes through hand signs and summons Scarlet, his personal summons, who is sleeping as proof, and sends her back. Kurenai is amazed by this, and couldn't help but gush about how cute the fox was. After talking for another hour, he drops the barrier and they leave. They wake up the next morning, and Naruto tells Kurenai that Zabuza of the Hidden Mist will be waiting, and has an apprentice with him. She nods and tells Kakashi. A few days later, Zabuza arrives, and what should have been an easy 2-on-1 since the apprentice decided to stay back turned into a train wreck because Kakashi kept getting in Kurenai's way, resulting in them both being trapped in a water prison. Run, you guys are no match for him, Kakashi says. Kurenai doesn't say anything because she's focused on her breathing and working on a plan to try and escape. She looks up to see Zabuza create 10 water clones, and Kiba and Sasuke rush in to fight them, but get easily handled. Naruto, seeing this, sighs and throws 2 kunai with at the clones. But what they don't see is a 3rd kunai with an explosive tag in the shadow that falls into the water. Kurenai saw it and braced herself. Next thing they know, the 2 kunai turned into 50 and takes out all the water clone while the kunai in the river exploded, making Zabuza lose control of the water prison and freeing Kakashi and Kurenai from the water prisons. Kurenai jumps to shore, while Kakashi and Zabuza go through hand signs mirroring each other. Water style, water dragon jutsu. The 2 dragons collide while Kakashi goes through another set of hand signs that Naruto copies. Water style, giant vortex jutsu. A whirlpool of water forms and crashes into Zabuza, sending him into a tree. Zabuza gets up. How did you use my jutsu before me? Can you see the future? Yes, and your future is death. Kakashi rushes at him to end his life but jumps back when 2 senbon hit Zabuza in the neck and he falls to the ground. Kakashi checks for a pulse and doesn't find one. He's dead, he says as he covers his sharingan. Then a person in a hunter nin mask appears at Zabuza's body. Thank you for distracting him. I'll take his sword and body to turn them in. With that, the ninja disappears along with Zabuza and his sword. Naruto shared a knowing look with Kurenai, who shook her head. Good job, Sasuke and Kiba, good teamwork. Sakura, Hinata and Shino, nice job protecting the client. Naruto, you're getting suspended once we head back to the village for not following orders a second time, Kakashi said. I don't really care, Kakashi. Whoever your Junin sensei was would be disappointed in you. I hope whoever it was isn't alive so they wouldn't see what kind of failure and sellout you've become. Naruto said. Kakashi rushed at Naruto, but he simply dodged and struck a pressure point in Kakashi's back, temporarily paralyzing him. Naruto, you can't do that to Kakashi sensei, apologize right now. Sakura screeched. Shut up and go put Sasuke's dick your mouth. That's all you Harunos are good for anyway. Useless bitch, Naruto says. Now this shocks Kurenai because Naruto has a lot of respect for women, and would never call one a bitch like that and not apologize. I need to get him off that team, she thought. Alright, that's enough. Since Kakashi is out, I'm in charge. Tazuna, how much further until we reach Wave? Kurenai said. We should be there in another 30 minutes if we keep to the road we re on. It's a small boat that can take us the rest of the way, he says. Alright, let's move out, Kiba. You carry Kakashi. Tazuna, lead the way, Kurenai said. They walked and reached Wave. Had they walked faster they would have ran into a squad of Kumo shinobi with a certain blonde on the team who just left delivering a client after the Raikage refused to help the poor country but had the team escort him back. Naruto was staring off into space looking at the unfinished bridge that is humongous. If he had to guess, it would take another 2 to 3 weeks to complete. He was broken out of his thoughts when Sakura yelled in his ear, "Hey, stop daydreaming and get moving, Naruto. I swear you're such a baka. Stop screaming in my fucking ear, you stupid bitch," he yelled back. He walked away, not even caring. Kurenai stops him. You're going the wrong way, Naruto. Tazuna said. His house was this way, pointing in the direction. I'll meet you there later. I can easily find you. Remember, I'm a sensor type as well. I'm gonna try and find out anything about this Gato by walking around the village. He says. She nods and tells him to be back by 8 p.m. That gives him 4 hours to gather as much info as needed. He walks away as they head to the house. Meanwhile, Samui, who was jumping through the trees with her team, suddenly stopped and turned around. She thought she heard a familiar name called, but brushed it off as her imagination. Samui, what's wrong? Why did you stop jumping? Asked the red-haired girl. Nothing, Karui. I thought I heard something. Let's keep going, she said in her usual cold tone of voice. Wow, Karui, you're really worried about Samui. You should be more worried about if your flat chest will ever grow, said a light blonde-haired boy on her team. Shut up, Omoy. Only 13, they'll grow later, Karui said, punching the now-named Omoy in the stomach. That's enough, you two, come on. We have to get back to Kumo. Samui, I'm very impressed with your work on missions. You two as well. If you keep it up, the Raikage may give you all a field promotion to Chunin. Now let's go, said their Junin sensei, who had blonde hair but had it in a long ponytail going down her back. It looked almost like a cattail. Hi sensei, they all said, and 3 of them took off. However, Samui stayed behind a little longer and pulled out her half of the yin-yang necklace and looked at Naruto name on it. A tear fell from her eye, and she hurried up and wiped it away before putting back on her cold stoic face. She takes off, catching up to her team. Meanwhile, Naruto is walking through the Wave Village, and is taken back by what he sees. Everything looks poor and has no money. All the shops are barely standing and they have little food to eat. He keeps walking until he sees some of Gato's goons trying to force themselves on a woman and her daughter, who looks to be about 14 to 15. He rushes over just as they both try to grope their breasts and kicks them away. The 4 goons stand up and charge at Naruto, who takes them down with ease. He ties them up and tells the woman and her daughter to leave and go home. They nod, but not before thanking him and leaving. Naruto looks at the thugs and activates his Mangekyou Sharingan, Tsukuyomi. 3 seconds later in the real world he has all the info he needed, and killed the thugs and burned their bodies with a small fireball jutsu. He returns to the house after walking around some more, getting a layout of the place. However, before he left, made clones go to every house he could and drop off bentos and blankets to keep them warm at night. He kept in a large storage scroll sealed on his wrists. The food was kept in fresh warm due to a tiny seal he put on all the bentos. He left a note in every house that simply said, "Gato will be no more in a week." The villagers were confused at first but held on to hope that the letter wasn't a lie and ate some of the bentos left in the house. He gave each family enough food for 2 weeks. He reaches Tazuna's house and Hinata opens the door for him, and he walks in not saying a word to her. He sits down and tells Kurenai what he found out and she nods. He looks around at everybody. Tazuna is asleep in a chair. Shino is up in a corner by himself. Kiba must be upstairs with Kakashi sleeping. He senses for their chakra, and he was right. Sakura was fawning over Sasuke as usual. However, Naruto noticed Sasuke had his Sharingan awakened again due to the fight, but only has 1 tomo in each eye. That's cute, he thought to himself. And finally Hinata was surprised right next to him, sneaking glances. Tsunami comes out and her greets her. Then her son Inari came in yelling at the ninja about how they don't know what it means to struggle and that Gato and his goons will kill them. Naruto stands up and walks to Inari. "Put your shoes on and come with me," he said in a no questions asked tone. Inari, scared for his life, does as told. Tsunami tries to stop them, but Kurenai says, "Inari will be fine." Tsunami nods reluctantly and goes back to cooking dinner. Naruto talks to Inari about his life, and Inari tells him about how Kaiza tried to stand up to Gato and was killed in front of the village. Naruto takes Inari around the village and shows him how people are living compared to him. See Inari, you may have it bad, but remember, somebody always has it worse than you. That's why I never complain about life and how it's treated me. I never let my past shape my future, or hold me down. In about a week or so, Gato will no longer be a problem, because he is a rapist. He hasn't raped anybody from this village, but that doesn't mean he hasn't tried. So next time he shows his face will be the last. Now let's go unless you want to say hi to that girl you're staring at, he says with a smirk. Inari gets an atomic blush on his face, and runs home. Naruto laughs at him, and tells the girl where Inari lives, and to visit him sometime. They arrive at the house, and Inari completely ignores his mom and rushes up to his room. Naruto enters the house 10 seconds with a cookbook in his hand. He heard Kurenai speak to him but decided to have some fun with her. Naruto, what did you say to Inari? Why did he run to his room like that? Kurenai asks. She knew he heard her because he had moved a little bit. What did you say? Wrong move. She punched him over the head, making him fall to the ground. I know you heard me, she yelled. Okay, fine. Spoil sport, ruin my fun. Why don't you? He said with a pout, rubbing the bump on his head. Tsunami, it seems your son has a crush on a girl. All I did was tell him to say hi to her, and he blushed and ran home. He acted like I told him to go, and he was cut off by Kurenai putting her hand over his mover, knowing what he was going to say next. Okay, anyway, I'm gonna go take a shower. Kurenai-sensei, can you handle it for me? He glances at Hinata, and she understands but waits for him to get in the shower. 2 minutes later, the shower is running, and Hinata activates her Byakugan, but is mad she can't see him in the shower for some reason. Kurenai, seeing this, sighs. Hinata, come outside with me. I need to talk to you about something, Kurenai says and goes outside. Hinata follows her. What did you need me for, Kurenai-sensei? I'm going to be straightforward with you. You need to stop stalking Naruto. He doesn't like it. In fact, he told me that he has already told you about him not liking you in a romantic way. Why did you not tell me this when you talked to me about him? She asks. Oh, Kurenai, I'm not stalking him. I'm just making sure he gets around safe. And of course he likes me. He was just messing around with me. I mean, he did save me from some bullies when we were younger, and he hasn't said anything about me following him around. Hinata says. Kurenai slightly slides away from her. Actually, Hinata, he doesn't like you, he likes somebody else. And contrary to what you've seen on this mission, Naruto is actually a nice kid. He doesn't blow up at people. He handled the situation the easy way. He doesn't want to have to tell your father, Kurenai said. Who does he like? Hinata asks in a dangerously low voice that sends warning signals off in Kurenai's head, so she stands up and turns toward the door. I don't know who he likes. He won't tell me even after knowing me for basically his entire life. He only told 2 people, Enko and the other. I don't know who it is. He hasn't told me that either. With that, she walks into the house, leaving Hinata to herself. Kurenai enters the house and notices Shino is missing, and asks where he went. Naruto came and got him, and they left to sit by the dock in the back. Tsunami said. And true enough, Kurenai looked out the window, and Shino and Naruto were sitting on the dock, however she couldn't hear them. And knew Naruto must have put up a privacy barrier around them. Few minutes earlier. Naruto gets out of the shower and puts on some shorts and a shirt to sleep in. He senses Kurenai outside with Hinata, most likely talking to her. Sakura was still with Sasuke, however Sasuke seemed to have drained all of his chakra, playing with his sharingan. Dumbass, that's what you get, he thought. Shino was in the same spot, however his chakra seemed unsure for some reason, so he went up to him. Shino, can I talk to you by the dock? He asks, and gets a nod in reply. They arrived at the dock and sat down. He quickly put up a privacy barrier so nobody could hear them. Alright Shino, what's the problem? I know something is bothering you. Your chakra is going haywire with uncertainty? He asks. You are correct, Naruto. I do have a problem. Why? Because in my clan our Kikaichu bugs do not sync with my body type for some reason. Why I am uncertain, you ask, is because the clan has no way to help me with the problem since this is a first and I can only carry so few outside of my body. Shino explained. Naruto gained a thoughtful look on his face. What if I can come up with a seal that goes on your body that can hold your bug inside as well as set the temperature to how they like it? All you would need to do is channel a bit of chakra to release the seal during battle, and they can come out when you call for them. Would your clan accept something like that for you? Shino now was the one who gained a thoughtful look. I suppose we can give it a try. How long do you think it would take to make it? Shino asks. Well, I can make it in about 3 days since I would need you to collect any kind of plants that they would like, and I want to make it huge on the inside, like almost the size of a small forest. That way the male and female will have plenty of food that they can eat. I also want to add another seal to it, where you can give a certain amount of chakra to another part in the seal, where you can control the kind of climate the bugs have. To say Shino was shocked was an understatement, but you would never see it. Very well, I shall collect what I can, and thank you, Naruto. I owe you one? He say. Don't worry about it, Shino. Shino nods. Naruto drops the barrier and then goes inside the house and goes to sleep. Naruto goes to his room with Sasuke, and what he sees disgusts him. Sasuke is asleep, and Sakura is giving him a blowjob. And from the way Sasuke's chakra felt, he must have been asleep for about an hour, which means Sakura must have just snuck in here recently. Naruto closes the door and goes downstairs and sees Kurenai sitting on the couch. He goes and joins her. Can't sleep? She asks. No, Sakura is giving Sasuke a blowjob right now while he sleeps. Kurenai gets a shocked look on her face. Are you serious? Very serious, at least from the look on his face. While he slept, he was enjoying it. She must have learned from her mother. I've seen the videos of her, and I can see why people go back to her for some services. He says. Kurenai only nods in shock. So why are you up, Nai-chan? She smiles that this was the nickname that him and Anko gave her one day a few years ago, and they've called her that every day from then on. Naruto, I think Hinata might be crazy. She seems to have some psychological issues because I talked to her and she went through mood swings. I told her you like someone else and she snapped and asked who. I told her I don't know, only Anko and one other person knows, but I didn't say who. I know she won't go after Anko, but what if she finds out that you know who also knows? Do you think she will attack her? Kurenai asks. No, I'm not worried if she was to attack you know who. She would lose. She is as strong as a mid-jonin taijutsu-wise and is deadly accurate with a knife or anything she can throw, and has the speed of an high jonin, and her taijutsu relies on hitting pressure points, and she is really skilled at that, I think. Besides me, Anko, the green spandex freaks, and another Hyuga, she is somebody who can go toe-to-toe with the gentle fist style, and win, he says, shocking Kurenai. They sit in silence until Naruto breaks it. Samui, he says. Kurenai raised an eyebrow at this. That's the name of the girl I love. Shocking her, he tells her the story behind them, and Kurenai can't help but feel for him. I'm sure you'll find her, Naruto. He nods. They hear footsteps and see Sakura sneaking to the kitchen and spits in the sink, running water to clean it out. She tries to sneak back, but Naruto stops her. Hey, Sakura, she freezes. Yes, Naruto, she replies. Spitters are quitters, he said, and she hangs her head at being caught and goes to her room. Meanwhile, Kurenai and Naruto laugh silently before going to their rooms and going to sleep. Next morning, Naruto wakes up and goes downstairs. Everybody looks at him and continues eating. He decides to break the silence. So Sasuke, did you sleep good last night? He asks. If you must know, yes I did, Sasuke replies. Good. It must have been nice to release everything from the day then. What about you, Sakura? Did you sleep well last night? Must have sucked for you if you didn't. He asks. Actually, loser, I do feel like I've released a whole load of awe from everything yesterday, Sasuke replies. I bet you did. What about you, Sakura? Don't hold it in, spit it out. At this, Kurenai is about to die from holding in laughter. When Inari walks in, she finally laughs. Mom, I was trying to sleep last night, but I kept hearing this sucking noise that kept me up for almost 30 minutes. What was it at that? Everybody's jaw hits the ground, except Naruto, Kurenai, Shino and Sasuke, who didn't know what was going on. Sakura had a deep blush on her face and tried to hide in her shirt. Kurenai, despite usually being against Naruto openly talking about sex, was holding her ribs while laughing. Shino, you could see his shoulders moving slightly. Hinata thought about doing that to Naruto tonight, and Tsunami and Tazuna were just shaking their heads. But if you look closely, we also laughing. Kiba silently asked Sakura if he could be next, and she punched him. After everybody calmed down, Kakashi came and told them Zabuza was alive still, and that his injuries would take a week to heal up, so he was training Team 7 in tree climbing, except Naruto, who had to guard the bridge all week. He thought Naruto would object, but he didn't care. A few hours later, the teams are done training, and Naruto finished the first part of the seal for Shino during his guard duty. Now they were at home, and Naruto told Kurenai he was going to go to the forest for sign trading, and would just camp out there. He trained for 5 hours on the last step for his lightning affinity, keeping a light bulb lit for 10 minutes. So far he could do it for 5 minutes. By time he finished training, he was up to 7 minutes. He fell asleep, and in the morning, the hunter Nin that saved Zabuza was walking through the forest collecting herbs when she spotted Naruto L. She held her hand out to his neck to strangle him, however he spoke up. I wouldn't do that if I were you, it might get you killed. He sat up and looked at her. She was inwardly cursing at being caught, so she put on an act of innocence. You shouldn't sleep out or you'll catch a cold, she said. I don't get sick. So what's your name? He asked. He already knows this is the hunter Nin. Haku, she replies. Well, nice to meet you, Haku. I'm Naruto. So what are you doing out here so early? I'm collecting herbs for my friend, he is sick, she replies. Well, I hope your friend gets better. Thank you. What about you? What are you doing out here? She asks. I was training last night and decided to sleep outside, he said. Are you a ninja? He nods. What do you fight for? I fight to protect my loved one from harm, he said. Then I believe you will become really strong. I believe that true strength comes when you have a precious person to protect. I'm sorry, but I must be going to take care of my friend. Bye, Naruto. See ya. Tell Zabuza. I wish him a speedy recovery. She turns around, but he is gone already, and she rushes back to the hideout. A week has passed, and today is the day they guessed Zabuza would attack the bridge. Naruto stayed back to protect the house, and to his surprise some thugs did show up, but he handles them quickly, and leaves some clones at the house and heads to the bridge. He makes it to the bridge. He sees Kurenai's mood and she looks pissed. He didn't have to ask why Kakashi decided to fight Zabuza one-on-one and is having trouble, even with the sharingan uncovered. That left her to guard the client with Shino Hinata and Sakura, who wouldn't shut up about Sasuke. He handed her a silencing seal, and she put it on Sakura. "Why are you here, Naruto?" she asks. "Gato sent thugs to the house to kidnap Tsunami, however I stopped them and came here." He looks the ice mirrors and Kurenai signs. "Can you go help them please?" He nods and shunshuns to the mirrors, and grabs the hunter Nin easily by the leg as she was preparing to finish off both Sasuke and Kiba. Using her shock to his advantage, he punches her in the stomach and face, breaking her mask and knocking the wind out of her. He does something that shocks her and throws her through her own mirrors that should have caught her. She landed against the bridge and knew she was defeated. Naruto, looking to finish her off by knocking her out, heard what sounded like chirping birds, and they saw Zabuza pinned down by a pack of dogs, and Kakashi charging at him. Zabuza Samahaku uses an ice mirror to save Zabuza, but she gets stabbed through the heart with the Chidori. Zabuza was about to attack again, however Gato showed up. Well, look here boys, it seems the baby of the mist couldn't get the job done. Oh well, I was going to kill him anyway. Hey Zabuza, where's that girl you had with you? She was young but she looked mature enough for my likings, he said with a perverted look on his face. He sees her dead body and looks up at Naruto, who is standing next to her body. He made the mistake and looked into his eyes. He whispers so nobody can hear him. Tsukuyomi. In the Tsukuyomi world, Gato finds himself tied down on a bed, unable to move. Welcome to my world of Tsukuyomi. I am God, I can control what happens in here now. You will tell me the passwords and combinations to all safes you have locked away in your hideout. Fuck you, punk. I'm not saying shit. Very well, since you like raping girls and abusing them, that's what will happen to you for the 3 days. However, in the real world, only 3 seconds will pass. Have fun. And by the 3rd hour of him being raped and abused, he was telling Naruto all he wanted to hear. Finally, the 3 days ended. Real world. After the Tsukuyomi finishes, Naruto deactivates his Mangekyou Sharingan, and Gato screams and falls down. He takes out a kunai and shoves it through his head. That's when the other thugs and mercenaries attacked. Zabuza, unable to use his arms, had Naruto toss him a kunai. He caught it in his mouth, and he killed every thug and mercenary. He fell to the ground with swords and knives sticking out of his back. Hey kid, can you take these out my back and lay me next to her? Naruto nods and takes out the swords and knives and carries Zabuza over to Haku. He starts crying as he sees her dead body. I'm really sorry, Haku. I never wanted you to be a part of this ninja life. I wanted you to grow up, live your life to the fullest, fall in love and have a family. I remember when I first found you. You were a scared, skinny little girl who was a victim of the bloodline purges that was started by the Mizukage. I tried to stop him. I had a full plan that was 100% guaranteed to work. I was betrayed by somebody acting as a spy in the rebels camp and was forced to flee with you. Despite me being the demon of the mist, I am against killing children, ninja or not a ninja. I trained you to become my personal tool. However, as time progressed, you became the daughter I always wanted. And I never told you I loved you once. I won't be seeing you again because where you're going, I'm not allowed. I love you, Hakuyuki Momochi, the daughter I always wanted, he said with tears falling down his face. Hey kid. Yeah, Naruto says. I want you to try and lift my sword. Naruto does as told. He walks over to the Kubikiri Bocho and lifts it with no problems. Congratulations kid, you are now the owner of the Kubikiri Bocho. The sword will only allow people it deems worthy lift it. It is now yours to wield. You are the 4th person to lift that sword as far as I know. Make me proud kid, the legacy is yours to continue. And with that, Zabuza passed on, dying how any shinobi of his caliber would. He went out fighting, and he couldn't have asked for a better way to go. A few hours later, Naruto is seen standing at the graves of Haku and Zabuza. He lifts the Kubikiri Bocho over his shoulder and walks away. I will make you proud, Zabuza. I swear, he said to himself. He enters the village and everyone starts to cheer for him, giving him a hero's welcome with praises and gifts. However, he declined the gifts, kindly saying that it was okay. They were going to build a statue of him for killing Gato, and they wouldn't take no for an answer. So he made a deal with them, that they could make the statue, as long as Zabuza got one as well for taking out all of Gato's goons before his death. The villagers agreed to that, and even held a moment of silence for Zabuza. He might have been known as the demon of the mist to the other nations, however to the Wave village he was a hero. After a few hours the celebration was still going on, however Naruto had one more thing to do. He located Gato's mansion, and found a safe with all of his money, not just from what he took from Wave but from his illegal dealings as well. He signed the papers giving him control over Gato's shipping company, and the idiot already had his name on the papers. He cut all ties with the illegal business owners he had. After sealing up all the money in the vault, he found a journal that would need to be seen by the Hokage himself. It had things to do with his treacherous student. He found a lightning jutsu that would suit him perfectly. After that, he released all the girls that were chained up in the basement, who ranged from the ages of 14 to mid-30s. He sensed for anyone in the building and found none. After getting everyone out the house, he threw a kunai with an explosive tag on it. This was his personal tag that was strong enough to level a city block if pumped with enough chakra, however he set it to blow up a large building, in this case a mansion. Everyone was walking away, and Naruto set the tag off, blowing up the mansion. The people at Wave who were partying looked up and saw the mansion explode and cheered even louder. A few minutes later, a large group of people are heading back from the mansion, putting everyone on edge. However, they see Naruto, with all the women that went missing, and tears of joy and happy reunions of family and loved ones are going on now. While this was going on, he noticed Teams 7 and 8 were also out walking around. He was tired and decided to head to the house and sleep. 2 more weeks went by and the bridge was complete, and Zabuza and Naruto's statue was built. It showed Zabuza and Naruto standing back to back, with Zabuza having his sword over his shoulder, and Naruto, with his arms crossed, standing with his leg on Gato's back with the same kunai embedded in Gato's skull. If you ask, Naruto was pretty badass. Now they are standing at the village entrance about to leave to return home. And they got a hero's farewell. While Naruto did, he was hailed with hugs and kisses to the cheek from a group of women, much to the amusement of Kurenai, and secretly Shino as well. Hinata was pissed at that. Kiba was jealous and muttered about how the ladies should be going after a true alpha like himself. Sakura was fawning over Sasuke, who again was activating and deactivating his one Tomo sharingan. He never learns, and Kakashi was thinking about his porno and how to get that sword from Naruto. Tazuna then spoke up. "We can't thank you guys enough for everything you've done for us. When we get back on our feet, I will send for an alliance between Wave and the Leaf, as you were the only ones willing to help us. We've reached out and were rejected by every other village. Only the Raikage was nice enough to send a Genin team and a Jonin to escort our messenger back free of charge. If there's anything you need before you leave, please let me know," he said. "We don't need anything, we need to get going, we have a long trip back," Kakashi said immediately. "Actually, there are 2 things I need actually," Naruto said. "We don't have time for this, Genin. We need to complete the mission and report to the Hokage," Kakashi said. "Sure, what do you need, kid?" Tazuna asked, ignoring Kakashi. "I need you and Tsunami to step forward," he said. They did so, wondering what was going on. Naruto unsealed the scroll and handed it to Tazuna. In that scroll is every single Ryo that Gato had to his name from all of his businesses, illegal and legal. The money will fall out as soon as you open the scroll, so take it to the bank before opening it. It's a lot of money, maybe about 2.5 billion Ryo, so you should have no problem getting your country back on its feet," he said, shocking all the people there. Pulls out another scroll and unseals the transfer papers to the shipping company. "Tsunami, I want you to sign these papers for me before I tell you what it is." He says Tsunami, trusting him, does, as he says, and signs the papers. Those were business transfer papers. "When I raided Gato's mansion, I found these, and he already had his name on them, so I added my name. Once that was done, I signed another transfer paper. You are now the owner of Gato's shipping company. Do not worry about the illegal businesses he had going through his company. I put an end to them as soon as I signed the papers. I know you will do good by the business, which is why I left it to you." She gives him a big hug with tears in her eyes, which he returns, which causes men to get jealous, because his head is right in between her breasts. "I will take care of this the best I can," she told him. "I know you will. Oh, and Inari, good luck with your girlfriend you got there," he said before they took off, missing the blush on both kids' faces. "So Dad, what are we going to name the bridge?" Tsunami asked. "I was going to name it the Super Tazuna Bridge, however I have decided on the Great Hero Bridge, named after our 2 heroes who helped free us from Gato's reign," he said, getting cheers from the people of Wave. The journey back to Konoha was stressful. Naruto almost revealed his sharingan, and put everybody minus Kurenai, Shino, and Hinata in a genjutsu. Kiba was bragging about how Zabuza was a failure, and that he wouldn't have died like he did. The result was Naruto throwing the sword at Kiba's head, similar to the way Zabuza did to them. He just barely got out of the way. Sasuke was bragging about having his sharingan before Naruto, and how he was better, and Naruto hinted at having his already by saying, "I don't need my sharingan to prove how strong I am," something which only Kurenai and Shino caught. Sakura was of course clinging to Sasuke, asking him out on dates. Kakashi was nagging Naruto about his behavior and defended Zabuza and his sword. All he got was a "fuck you" from Naruto, who kept moving. Kurenai walks up to him and whispered, "I'm gonna request a team transfer between you and Kiba when we get back." He nods before she moves on. They reached Konoha in about 2 days due to not having a civilian with them, and went to the missions office to hand in the mission report, where Kakashi tried to lie on Naruto, but Kurenai, Shino, and Hinata stood up for him. After everything was done, he dismissed them, but Kurenai spoke up between them. "Hokage-sama, I would like to request a team transfer between Kiba and Naruto," she said. He thought about it, and from the mission report he got from Team 7D tank missions, the team was dysfunctional. Sasuke and Sakura would do little to no work, while Naruto does the rest, and Kakashi only blames Naruto when something goes wrong. He then thought about how Kurenai reports that Kiba keeps trying to get with Hinata and her on some occasions, which resulted in him getting a lot of beatings from his mother and sister. He made his decision. "Very well. Sign the papers, and it will become official Kurenai signs, and Kakashi not paying attention signs as well. It's official, the team transfer between Naruto and Kiba is official, he says, shocking Kakashi. What, Hokage-sama? I'm the only one who can train them in the sharingan. That's why I requested them both to be on my team, Kakashi says. Yes you did, but I've been through the mission reports, your team is a ticking time bomb. So I'm replacing Naruto with Kiba. Dismissed, everyone leaves but Naruto grabs Hinata. Come with me. She nods and he shuns them away. Kurenai sees this and hopes he doesn't break her. They arrive on top of the Hokage monument. Hinata, I know about your talk with Kurenai. I'm here to tell you it will never happen. Hinata opens her mouth to speak but he cuts her off. The reason it won't happen is because I've never had romantic feelings for you. Yes, I did save you from bullies, but that is because I do not like bullying. I think you fell in love with what I did for you and not me personally. I think of you like a sister that I never had. I would rather not lose that. Besides, you were so caught up on me that you never recognized the other guy who has feelings for you. I hope we can move on from this and you can find true happiness because I am not the guy meant for you. She nods with tears in her eyes. I guess I can accept that. But who is it that has romantic feelings for me? She asked, wiping away her tears. It's not business to tell you. You will have to figure that out on your own. So are we good now? He says. Yes, we're good. He pulls her to a hug which she accepts. Just then the same boar-masked Anbu that hates Naruto arrives. Hinata, Hyuga, and Naruto Uchiha. You are wanted at the council for a meeting immediately. He goes to grab them, but Naruto knocks his hand away. We can get there on our own, now leave. The Anbu grits his teeth but leaves. So you ready for a show? She nods, alright, so shall we arrive in style or walk? She thinks about it and then answers. Let's go in style. Next thing she knows they disappeared in a swirl of blue fire. Council chambers. Where is the boy and Lady Hinata Hiruzen? That Anbu returned but he did not come with him. Before he could reply a swirl of blue fire rose from the floor and yelling can be heard. Damn it Naruto, you could have warned me. Following the tell was what sounded like a slap to the head. The fire dies down and it was Hinata standing there with Naruto on the floor nursing a bump on his head. Hinata looks up at everybody staring at her and starts poking her fingers together shyly. The most surprised however was her father because she has never acted like that. Naruto stands up and greets the council in typical Naruto fashion. What's up Hokage Gigi, Sume-san, White Eyes-san, Boog-san, Lazy-san, Food-san, Inoichi-san. Everyone's sweat drops at this. Why does everyone have a nickname besides Sume and Inoichi? Shikaku asked. Well, Tsume isn't really keen on nicknames and I haven't thought of one for Inoichi, he said with a smile. You will show this council some respect, boy. Koharu said Naruto didn't even see her there. She should have kept her mouth shut. Oh hey, saggy tits, I didn't see you there. How are you today? You as well, one-eyed pedophile. Sup, cool old man. Homaru nods at Naruto. Now two things happened. Koharu was seething in anger. Her face was red, but the most shocking was Danzo. He slapped his gooder on the table and yelled. I am not a pedophile. Naruto slapped his hands on the table and yelled back. You liar, I saw how keep looking at me with a look of want in your eye when I was little and you're still doing it. Naruto yelled back, pointing at Danzo as this was going on. Sakura still gushed over Sasuke who ignored her. Kiba was trying to grab Hinata's ass. She moved towards Shino. He stiffens up as she grabs his arm, something she notices. Kakashi is waiting for this meeting to be over so he can train Sasuke. Kurenai is pinching her nose. The clan heads are snickering except Sume who is openly laughing, banging the table. Even Shibi has a smile but you can't see it, and Hiyashi to Hinata's surprise his lips keep twitching upward. Start the meeting Hiruzen, Danzo said through his clenched teeth. Alright, we are here because Sasuke decided to brag to the civilian council about the mission report from the wave mission. And they have some questions for you, Naruto. He nods and the questions start. Is it true that you killed Gato and his mercenaries and took control of his shipping business and stole all the money from his mansion? A fat councilman asked. Yes, I did kill Gato, however it was Zabuza Momochi who killed the mercenaries. I did take over the business, but he was cut off by a different council member with pink hair. We demand you hand the business and money over to us right now, and give Sasuke-sama that sword. That's when Naruto speaks his cold tone. If you would have let me finish you would know that I gave the money to Wave and signed the business over to Tazuna's daughter. They need it more than we do, and even agreed to an alliance after they get back on their feet. Now you do not demand anything from me. I am a ninja, and not a ninja that you can have sex with to get what you want. I've seen the videos you made with some ninja and former council members. Nice job teaching your daughter, by the way, seen it with my own eyes. But unlike you, she is a spitter and not a swallower, and hasn't fucked anybody, yet. I'll say this though, you sure are flexible if you can still put both legs behind your head, he said, making both Harunos blush in anger and embarrassment. Now for the Kubikira Bocho, the proper name for my sword. Sasuke cannot have it as it only allows those who are worthy to lift it. I do not know what happens when somebody else does though. But if he is willing to try. He places the Kubikiri Bocho on the ground. Sasuke tries to pick it up and gets electrocuted. Now, is there anything else or can I go? Two hands are raised belonging to Tsume and Shibi. Shibi allows Tsume to go first. Hana has told me that you created a medical seal for animals that heals almost every injury except a broken bone, as well as a self-serving station for animals to get the seal placed if they are injured. Is that correct? She asks. Yes, the seals rely on nature chakra and uses the right amount to not harm the animal, and the seal fades away after it finishes healing. It doesn't heal broken bones or major wounds that would require surgery, he explained. Would you like a B-rank mission to build 2 of those stations for the Inuzuka clan? She asks. Those would be much helpful to the Ninken and avoid unnecessary surgeries. I would not mind that at all, however it must go through the Hokage, and be on a weekend since Kurenai-sensei doesn't do weekend missions, he says, and she nods. Shibi spoke up next. Naruto-san, Shino has informed me of a certain seal you created. Would you mind telling me about it? Shibi asks. I cannot explain it to you because of how it is made, however I can show you the blueprints of it. He unseals a scroll and hands it to Shibi, who opens it up and reads it. He was so impressed that both of his eyebrows rose up. He rolls the scroll back up and hands it to Naruto. If possible, I would like to purchase 100% of these seals from you if you will allow me to. Shibi says. Naruto nods and says they will talk later about the price. Hayashi speaks up. Naruto, how far along in sealing are you? He asks. I'm already done with the 10 levels of Konoha seals and I'm at level 4 in the Uzumaki sealing levels, he says, shocking him and Danzo. Danzo because Hiruzen told him he didn't have Uzumaki sealing scrolls. Hiruzen, you lied to me. I thought you didn't have the Uzumaki sealing scrolls. Yes, I lied to you. So what, we both know what you would do with them. Besides, they were left to Naruto by his godmother anyway, so they weren't mine to give away. Danzo said nothing, but clearly he was pissed. Oh, and before you even think about sending your goons to try and get them from me, Danzo, remember this, I can dig up roots and have them burn to never grow again, he said in a voice that reminds him and Sasuke of Itachi. I don't know what you're talking about, he replies smoothly, although inside he is wondering how he knows about root being active still. Sure you don't. Now Hayashi, anything else you need? Yes, I would like for you to meet me at the Hyuga compound later, for something important. I'll be there at 6. He gets a nod from Hiyashi. Alright, this meeting is Hiruzen was cut off by Shikaku. Sorry to interrupt, Hokage-sama, but Naruto, do you think you can make a seal for me that creates a barrier to block out noise both ways and you can't see me though? It lets nobody in, other than me. I can use it at home for my naps. He asks, getting a confused look from Naruto. You already have one, Shikaku. No, I don't. If I did, I would be using it. Yeah, you do. I gave it to Shikamaru. He has one himself that he uses all the time. I thought he gave you yours. That little fucker, okay? How does it work? It works, just like you said. It creates a barrier that keeps noise in and keeps noise out. And although the barrier is invisible, people won't be able to see you, and since it runs on nature chakra as well, it only comes down once you deactivate the seal, and the seal never gets old, so it can constantly be used. Shikaku is crying anime tears now that he finally has his wish granted of a way to nap in peace. Okay, meeting over, Hiruzen said and vanished. Naruto headed to Anko's apartment, but her and Aruka were on the couch with their shirts off making out, so he put a silencing seal on the door that covered the entire apartment, and left a note that said to use protection. He left and went to Ichiraku's, and talked with Ayame for an hour before heading to the Hyuga compound. He arrived and greeted the guards at the entrance. Hello, I have a meeting with Hiyashi at 6. The guardian, his left, nods. Yes, he has informed us. Follow me to his office. They walk around and Naruto is amazed at how big the compound is. They arrive at Hayashi's office and the guard knocks. Enter, Hayashi said. The guard opens the door. Hiyashi-sama, I have Naruto here for you. He bows and lets Naruto enter. Naruto thanks the guard and enters the office. Naruto, can you please put your privacy barrier? Naruto nods and puts up the barrier. Okay, the reason I wanted to talk to you is this. He pulls out the seal he wanted Naruto to look at. This is the caged bird seal that the Hyuga side branch family wears on their forehead. I want you to look at this, and see if you can remove it for me. I want to make the Hyuga clan whole again, and I can't do that if this seal is still in place. I'm not expecting immediate results, but can you at least give it a try? Naruto, studying the seal, speaks up. I should be able to remove it now, however, I won't have the seal ready until probably the Chunin exams in 4 months due to missions and training. I'll also create a seal that also destroys the Byakugan at death, but it would be invisible, and every Hyuga will have to wear it. He gets a nod from Hiyashi. He stands and bows, deactivating the privacy seal but letting Hiyashi keep it. He opens the office door, and Hinata, and a younger girl who looks like Hinata, with brownish hair, falls over into the room. What's going on and who are you? He asks, confused. I am Hanabi Hyuga, second daughter of Hiyashi Hyuga, you peasant. The little 8-year-old replied. Uh-huh. So Hinata, what's going on? Hey, don't ignore me, I'm talking to you, you filthy commoner. Naruto said nothing, but leaned down to her face and pokes her in her ribs. She giggles a little bit before catching herself, however Naruto caught it. "Oh, is somebody ticklish? It would be a shame if you were to be punished by tickles," he said with grin that scared her. "You will not touch me, right, father?" She looks at Hayashi, who is looking away while drinking some tea. "Ne-san," she looks for Hinata, who appears by her father also drinking tea, looking away. Where the tea came from nobody knows. She turns and sees Naruto cracking his knuckles, and takes off running as fast as possible. It wasn't long before Naruto caught her, and tickled her, until she had tears coming from her eyes from laughing so much. He does that for about 10 minutes before she has to go train with her guard. He gets up to leave and passes by another Hyuga, about a year older than him, with a Konoha headband on. They said nothing, just kept going. However, the Hyuga used his Byakugan to look at him, but wasn't expecting Naruto to flare his chakra, making him deactivate his eyes from the pain. After Naruto leaves the compound, he heads to the Hokage's training ground for some training. It's been 4 months since Naruto switched teams, and he was happy. Their teamwork was so good that sometimes they didn't need to communicate to each other. Training was a bit difficult because of how strong he was. He could already go against Kurenai. But that is because she focuses too much on genjutsu, and not her taijutsu or ninjutsu. Her taijutsu skills were mid-chunin, and ninjutsu-wise, outside of the Shunshinjutsu, the substitution, clone jutsu and Hen, she knew none. So, in the past 4 months she trained in taijutsu and ninjutsu. All of them now wore resistance seals to help with speed. Hinata and Shino were as fast as a high chunin without the seals activated. Kurenai's speed reached Anko's level, which was low Anbu. And Naruto was low Sennin level at speed without his resistance seals activated, but with them he is as fast as Lee, without his weights. Taijutsu-wise, Shino was low Chunin. He decided to go with Wing Chun for fast striking and heavy defense. Hinata had to fix her Juken style. It was too stiff for her. It turns out that the style was meant for stiff movements like a boulder. Hinata, being a water user, needed something that flows smoothly so she can attack and defend at the same time. Turns out her mother had the same problem and left her taijutsu style for Hinata to learn, and she was a natural at it, but other than her teammates nobody knew that she knew it. Kurenai needed a taijutsu style built for speed and flexibility, so she combined the offensive style of the hummingbird style, made famous by the Yondaime, and the flexibility of the snake style Anko uses. Her taijutsu was mid-Junin level. Ninjutsu, Hinata learned water style, water wall, and water bullet jutsu. Shino had an earth and fire affinity, so he learned fireball jutsu, dragon flame, and phoenix flower. Earth style, mud wall. Earth style, binding chains, and earth style headhunter jutsu. Kurenai didn't have the typical chakra nature. She had yin release, but she learned some jutsus for it. Yin style, chakra siphon, which she wanted to add into her taijutsu style. Yin style, dark binding. Yin style, dark shield. However, she did train herself in learning some lightning ninjutsu, which was difficult due to her yin affinity, but Naruto taught her the shadow clone jutsu, and she was able to use it to master the lighting training she learned. Lightning clone, lightning bullet, electromagnetic murder, and lightning palm. Naruto even started to teach her how to cast genjutsu with her eyes to allow her more freedom to use taijutsu and ninjutsu. She can only cast up to C-rank genjutsu with her eyes, but it's good for somebody without a sharingan. Naruto told her at best she would only get up to high B ranking to low A ranking genjutsu with her eyes. She was okay with that. When she casts genjutsu from her eyes, her pupils constrict and sends a chakra pulse to an opponent's eyes like the sharingan. But he told her this technique would never work on a sharingan user. Naruto grew the most ninjutsu-wise. That's what he focused more on. He liked using his lightning and fire jutsus the most. His lighting turned red during his training, but he didn't complain about it. He learned his mother's lightning jutsu. She couldn't use lightning style, Hammer of the Thunder. God creates a hammer, Thor's Mjolnir, made out of lighting, and the user can use it to smash his opponent, or use it to control the natural lightning in the air while it's raining. Lightning Edge, another jutsu he created. It was like the Chidori, but made no noise lightning style. Raging Dragon creates a serpent-like dragon in his hand that he controls. And it is almost impossible to dodge lightning javelin, pure lightning shaping that creates a javelin that he can throw at his opponent, piercing them and electrocuting them. He also learned twin lightning dragon jutsu. For fire he had his Gigi lend him some scrolls in secret. Great Dragon Fire Jutsu, Fire Breath Jutsu, and Misty Flames Dance Jutsu. He learned some wind ninjutsu as well. Wind style, air blades he uses through the Kubikiribocho, creating wind blades that can destroy the landscape and cut up an enemy from a distance. Also, if he channels enough chakra he could kill a giant summoned creature. Air slash that he uses with or without the Kubikiribocho, although it is stronger when using the sword Wind Dragon Jutsu, and Wind Drill Jutsu. He throws 3 kunai blades infused with wind chakra, throws them in the air, and controls them to create a large drill that destroys everything in its path. He learned 2 more water jutsus as well. Super Exploding Water Shockwave and Ripping Torrent. He only learned 2 because he rarely uses water but has them just in case. His taijutsu was High Jonin, now on par with Rock Lee even though he doesn't know him yet. His genjutsu with his sharingan was almost as good as Itachi. Overall he was mid-June and due to his lack of experience, however, if his Sharingan is active he can take on a mid-Onbu, and his Mangaku, he would be able to take on a low Sanin level ninja. Shino and Hinata were both mid-level overall, and they were happy with the progress. Kurenai was a Jonin already, and her overall skill put her at high Chunin low Jonin, however due to her recent training she is as strong as Anko, who is mid-high Jonin. Naruto finally unlocked the Susanoo. He was surrounded by a black ribcage and an arm. That's as far as he can go right now. Also they have completed 7 more C-rank missions, and it would have been 9 but 2 of them upgraded to a B-tank, due to having to fight a missing ninja. Naruto also completed an S-rank mission on accident, where he found one of Orochimaru's old labs that had a lot of dead bodies tied to experimenting tables. They didn't find much so they burned it. Now him and his team are waiting for Kurenai to show up at the training ground. Shino and Hinata are sitting together with her on his lap. They started dating 2 weeks after the wave mission and Naruto was happy for them. He was snapped out of his thoughts when Kurenai arrived. Okay guys, I've decided to request you for the Chunin exams next week. As you may have noticed we have some team from different villages already here. So fill out these forms, and head to the academy next week with these forms, and head to room 303 for the first part of the exam. Good luck, and if you need anything just come find me, she said, and vanished. So I'm pretty sure these require all 3 members to participate in the first 2 parts since it's 3 parts altogether. Do you guys want to join or wait it out? Naruto asked after reading the form. I will take it but only for the experience. However, if I am recommended for a promotion then I will take it, Shino said, and they both looked at Hinata who was thinking about this hard. I think I'll join too, like Shino said it's for the experience for me as well. But I'll also take the promotion if it is offered, she said. Great, so see you guys in a week then. They both nodded, but before he left he couldn't help but mess with them. Oh, and make sure you use protection, okay? He vanishes as a kunai from the blushing Hinata flies at his head. Naruto returned to the training field because he wanted to work on cutting down the hand seals for his lightning and fire jutsu. His wind and water already require 1 or no hand signs. He was about to begin when he sensed something in the tree that's been following him for years. He activated Shisui's technique dance of the teleporter, creating solid after images, and snuck up and grabbed whatever was following him. What the hell are you supposed to be? He asked as he looked at the creature with wings but had the body of a lizard. I'm a dragon, young Naruto, and I've been watching you for about 5 to 6 years, the dragon said. Yeah, I know, I just never bothered to do anything about it until now. So how did you get in the barrier? It should have set off an alarm. Oh, the barrier doesn't work on summons. I thought that old monkey would have told you. Anyway, I am here to offer you the Dragon Clan contract. We would like you to become our summoner, the dragon said. Oh, I would like to, but I already signed the Fox contract, he said. Yes, I am aware of that, however Kurama has given you the blessing of signing another contract and has given us permission to offer it to you. Can summon him and ask him to be sure. I'm not lying. Naruto bites his thumb, goes through hand signs. Summoning jutsu, what the fuck? Kit, this better be important. I was about to have my way with my mate. By the way, she wants to meet you but wait a month before summoning her, she's in heat, Kurama said. Oh Kurama, that would be my fault. I told him to summon you if he didn't believe you would let him sign the dragon contract, the dragon told him. Oh yes, the dragon summoning contract is fine, just no toad or snakes. I hate them. Well, I better get going. I have a mate waiting for me to ravish her. Oh, and Kit summoned Scarlet. She actually grew the last 6 months. He said. With that he disappeared in a puff of smoke. Okay, where is this contract for me to sign? As he says that a scroll appears in front of him and he signs it. Good, now the hand signs for summoning us are a bit different. Instead of you starting with the boar hand sign like usual, you start with bird, switching the places of the two. Now go through the hand seals and summon your familiar. Your familiar requires very little chakra, maybe as much as a genin as you guys call it. Naruto goes through the hand signs. Summoning jutsu. A small baby dragon appears with pitch black skin, and its eyes have the iris an emerald green color, but the pupils are black and are shaped like an oval. The dragon opens his mouth to yawn and it shows a row of small but sharp teeth. This is interesting. A baby dragon has never been chosen as familiar. Usually familiars are small dragons the size of a small house. Anyway, this Shadow, your familiar, he can't do much right now, so summon him again in about 6 months, then he can start training with you. Cool, thanks, but are you always this small? He asks. Oh no, I'm way bigger. It was just easier for me to watch you this way. This is a henge, as you would call it. The dragon grows to be about 500 feet tall. This is how tall I really am. Okay, what's your name? You haven't told me yet, he asked. Ah, my mistake, the name is Bob. Bob said, proudly puffing out his chest. Naruto had to bite his lip in order not to laugh at this 500-foot tall dragon, and his name is Bob. Well, it's nice to meet you, Bob. Thanks, Naruto. Same here. And before I leave, you can't summon Boss Dragon or Elder, yet they will decide when to meet you. With that, Bob returned home. Naruto goes through some hand signs. Summoning jutsu. Before he can stand up, he is knocked over by a red blur. Naruto! I'm so happy to see you again. You never me summon before. I know I can't train yet, but you could have at least played with me, Scarlet. Said, going to a sad time at the end. I'm sorry, Scarlet, I was busy, but I'm about to train. You can watch if you want, he said. Okay, but do you have any food? I'm hungry. He unseals 4 bentos and opens them for her. One has steaks in them, the other has fruits and nuts, while the other 2 have fish in them. He doesn't unseal any water because they have a stream like 20 feet away, and he can just pull water out of the air for her. She starts eating and begins to train, cutting down his hand signs for lightning and fire jutsus. After 5 hours of training, his lightning edge needed no hand signs, and his twin lightning dragon only needed 5 hand seals. For fire, great dragon fire was down to 3 hand signs, and fire breath, he needed no hand signs, for those were the only 4 jutsus he worked on. Well, him and about 600 clones. He notices Scarlet sleeping and sends her back home. He heads home for the night and sleeps, day before the exams. Naruto is walking around the village. When he feels 4 chakra signatures following him, he sees a square rock following him and taps it once, making it explode in smoke. Little Monkey, Konohamaru, Snot Nose, Udon, Red Spots, Moegi, Firecracker, Hanabi, what can I do for you today? You promised to play ninja with us, remember? Konohamaru stated, getting 3 other nods of agreement. Now in the last 4 months since joining Team 8, Naruto, Shino, and Hinata hung out quite often, and he started to be around Hanabi more often, and got her to break out of that stick-up-the-ass Hyuga way, and be more like a kid her age. Somehow, she even got her father to take in a small white kitten Naruto found one day in his little animal hospital that he built. How she did it, nobody knows, but yeah, she has a cat now. Due to her becoming less stuck up, she quickly made friends with Konohamaru, Udon, and Moegi. He was about to speak up until a voice beat him to it. What kind of ninja plays ninja? Sakura said, walking up to them. It teaches the stealth and trap-making spitter. You should try it, Naruto says. Hey boss, is she your... Konohamaru holds up his pinky finger. Of course not. Nissan would never date somebody like her. I mean, look at her breasts, they're as big as mine and I don't have any, but I'm 10, Hanabi said. Yeah, you're right, plus look at her forehead, it's so huge, Konohamaru said. You might want to run now, Konohamaru, said. Boy looks at Sakura, who has an evil aura around her, and takes off with Sakura right on his heels. Ouch, Konohamaru said. Hey, watch where you're going, you little shit. A black car suit wearing boy says, and picks Konohamaru up by his collar. Kankuro, put him down before. We're not supposed to cause any trouble, besides what if he sees you? A girl with blonde hair and 4 pigtails and a giant fan on her back says. Relax, Tamari. I was just gonna have some fun with him, Kankuro said. Fine, but leave me out of it. Tamari said. Kankuro pulled his fist back to punch Konohamaru, but a voice stopped him. I wouldn't do that if I were you, Naruto said, coming out of nowhere. Oh, and why not, Kankuro said, while Tamari has other thoughts. Well, a local hottie, I wonder if he's single, she thought. Because the Anbu watching him will surely kill you for harming the Hokage's grandson. As he says that 2 Anbu appear and protect Konohamaru. It's alright, Cat and Lion, I can handle this. They nod and escort the 4 kids away from the scene. The second reason is because your other teammate in the tree doesn't seem happy. So Sasuke, can you and your friend come down here? He said, confusing Sasuke, until a swirl of sand is seen rising before them, showing a red head with teal eyes with the kanji for love on his forehead. I didn't even notice him, Sasuke thought. Kankuro, you're a disgrace to the village, the redhead said. But Gaara, I was just... Shut up or I'll kill you, he says, scaring Kankuro. What's your name? Sasuke Uchiha. Sasuke said smugly. Not you, I don't care. I mean him. He pointed at Naruto. Naruto, is all he said. Mother says she wants your blood. Naruto, already having guessed he was the one-tailed Jinchuriki, was not scared one bit. Tell your mother mine has 8 more tails and should watch out and not cause problems, he said calmly, confusing Sasuke and Sakura, but getting scared looks from Tamari and Kankuro. Gaara grabs his head in pain. Tamari, Kankuro, we're leaving. We have to meet Baki-sensei. They turned to leave before Sakura spoke up. It's illegal for a foreign ninja to be in the village unless they have a reason, so why are you here, she asks. We're here for the Chunin exams. Don't you know they're being held here? Tamari stated as if it was obvious. Yes, Spitter, didn't your excuse of a sensei tell you about them? Sakura doesn't reply, only looks down while Tamari blushes at the nickname, understanding what he meant by it. The Sangenin left, and so did Naruto, leaving Sasuke alone with Sakura. Sakura, you should train more before the Chunin exams. We might not have much time before they start. Oh, if only he knew. Oh, and why does Naruto call you Spitter? She blushes at this but sees this as an opportunity. I can show you, but I'll have to go to your house. It's kind of private. She said. He shrugs and leads her to his house, not noticing the 3 figures in the tree who didn't notice Naruto standing right behind them. So that's the Uchiha. A girl with a Sound Village headband said. Yeah, he doesn't look like much. I wonder what Master sees in him, said. A boy with black gravity-defying hair. It doesn't matter, we have our orders, we are to test the Uchiha. Let's just hope Kabuto can do his part and not blow his cover. We need him to get the Uchiha to trust him in the forest. The other one said, who looked like a mummy. They all vanished, never sensing Naruto. So we have a spy in our ranks, huh? Kabuto, I've never heard or seen one around the village, and I basically know everybody, even if they hate me. Naruto said he has to see the Hokage about this. Day of Chunin exams. Naruto woke up and began getting ready. He had 2 hours to get ready, so he put on his usual clothes, ate a big breakfast, and left. Everything was the same about him except he had the Kubikiri Boku on his back. As he was leaving, you could see an image of Shisui with a proud smile on his face. As Naruto was walking to the academy, people had to do a double take on him. The serious look on his face reminded him of the Yondaime, and if he had blonde hair he could pass as his son. Oh, if only they knew. They banished those thoughts and began to glare at him like they usually did. He reached the academy and saw Shino and Hinata waiting for him. They waved him over and he walked up to them. Are you both ready for this? After today our lives will change, but remember to have each other's back and trust your abilities. He said that last part mainly to Hinata, who still had times where she was unsure of her abilities, but they were still working on it. We can do this. We will follow your lead, Naruto, as you are team captain. Logically, we should follow your orders, Shino said. No, Shino, if you or Hinata have any suggestions or ideas, we can use them. Despite me being the leader, I will also listen to what you have to say. Naruto said. They both nodded and handed in their registration forms and walked into the academy. As they walked in, Naruto noticed a group of Konoha genin that looked to be a year older than them. It was the same Hyuga boy he saw at the Hyuga compound after his meeting and tickle fight with Hanabi. It was also a boy with a green spandex jumpsuit with leg warmers. But what caught Naruto was he had the exact bowl-cut hairstyle and bushy eyebrows as that weird jonin that screams about the flames of youth all day. However, it was the girl that caught his attention. She wore a pink sleeveless Chipao-style Chinese blouse and dark green pants, but it was the hair that made him remember who she was. Her hair was in 2 buns on her head that reminded him of a panda bear. He walks up to them, ignoring the Hyuga, who was glaring at him with his Byakugan active. He remembered what Naruto did to him and deactivated his Byakugan, but still flared at him. Panda-chan? Naruto asked, and the girl got mad and glared at him. I don't know who you think you are, but only one person has the right to call me that, and he isn't around anymore, so watch your mouth. All right, the bun-haired girl said. You don't remember me. I'm hurt. We were always together in the orphanage before you got adopted, he replies with a smirk, seeing her eyes go wide. Fish cake. His eye twitched at the name, but nonetheless he nodded and was immediately wrapped up in a bone-crushing hug, which he returned. I haven't seen you in years since I was adopted. You're not a little shrimp anymore. How have you been? She said. He twitched being called a shrimp. He did grow. He stood at 5 feet 4 inches, the tallest out of all the current genin. I'm actually doing good, despite everything that's happened to me, but it looks like you're the shrimp now. So who are your teammates? He asked. She pouted at being called a midget but introduced her team. Well, the one with the serious face and long hair is Neji Hyuga, said boy was glaring at Hinata, having spotted her walking up to Naruto. The other energetic one, who looks like he is about to explode if I don't introduce him, is Rock Lee, said boy, rushed and shook Naruto's hand excitedly. Yosh, I am Konoha's most handsome blue beast. It is nice to meet you, my youthful friend. I can tell your flames burn bright. As this was going on, Naruto was not paying attention to him. Seriously, what is wrong with this guy? Who would wear this in public? It's horrifying. Makes me want to throw up. I can only imagine what I would wear if I hadn't met Shisui. He shuddered at the thought but saw everybody was waiting for his answer. He responded, Did you say something? Lee had a shocked look on his face. Curse you and your hip attitude, Naruto, he said, crying anime tears. Anyway, these are my teammates, Shino Aburame, and Hinata Hyuga. Guys, this is Panda-chan, also known as Tenten. He introduces them and they greet them. However, Naruto notices Neji glaring at Hinata. Dude, if you're glaring at her because you like her, it won't help you get into her pants, besides she is already taken. Now if you have a problem with her being from the main house, then sucks to be you. If you try anything, I will kill you, he said, his voice going from happy to cold and serious. Neji just walks away with Rock Lee following him. I guess that's our key to leave. It was good seeing you again, Fish Cake, Tenten said, giving him a hug and rushing off. Let's get up to the exam room, guys. I want to fight that Lee guy. I can tell he is the strongest genin after me, but his team thinks Neji is the strongest. I can tell Lee is hiding something, he says, and walks off with Shino and Hinata following him. They reached the 3rd floor, and on the way they passed a room on the 2nd floor with a genjutsu on it, with a lot of genin trying to get in being blocked by Chunin, in a henge that Naruto immediately recognized as the eternal gate guards Izumo and Kotetsu. Kurenai appears in front of them. I'm glad you all made it. If one of you were to opt out of the exams, then the other 2 would not have been allowed to enter. Now I'm here to wish you luck and do your best. She gives them all a hug and vanishes. They look at each other and walk in and were glared at by everybody in there. Hinata started shaking and Shino had a barely noticeable drop of sweat on his head. Naruto, on the other hand, well, he sat down by the wall and went to sleep, not even bothered by the glares. He was rudely awakened by Kiba's voice. Yahoo! It looks like all the rookies are here. Way to go, Kiba, you just attracted unwanted attention to us. Shikamaru said. He gave a nod to Naruto, who nodded back. Choji greeted him as well. He noticed Sasuke was being pestered by Sakura and Ino arguing over him about dates. He decided to mess with them. Hey, I know, you better hurry up and give yourself to Sasuke like you want, that is of course if you haven't given yourself to Choji. But Sakura is already a proven spitter as I like to call her. I'm sure Sasuke finally found out why I called her that yesterday, he said with a smirk. Ino was red in anger at Naruto basically calling her a slut again. She hadn't had sex yet. Choji whispered something in Naruto's ear and his jaw dropped. He leans and whispers in her ear. I think you should stop gushing over Sasuke despite you and Choji wanting to keep it a secret. You're hurting him by doing that. He said. She nods but he talks once more in her ear. Turns out you're not a spitter like Sakura. Good for you, he says and walks back to his team. That's when he senses somebody over near them, and his danger senses went off. This was a silver-haired boy with spectacles on. He looked to be about 6 to 7 years older than them. His chakra was as high as a Junin. I seriously need to keep my sensory abilities active. I have the same version Mito Uzumaki had, he thought as he activated his sensing abilities. He sensed 2 more high chakra signatures. However, one was not in the building but was close by. One was Gaara, the other had reserves at Kage level, and the chakra was dark and evil. The person also smelled like snakes just like Kabuto did. His eyes widened as he realized something. Orochimaru was in the exams in a disguise. But why was he here? You guys should quiet down, you're drawing attention to yourselves, the boy said. Oh yeah, who are you? Kiba asked. My name is Kabuto Yakushi and I can assure you these exams are no joke. This is my 7th time taking them. Kabuto said. This was the boy Naruto heard the sound nin talking about. He had told the Hokage who gave him an S-rank mission to spy on him. Kabuto was pulling out cards when he was finished with his thoughts. These are ninfo cards. I can tell you about any genin you wish to know about, Kabuto said. Rock Lee, Gaara and Naruto Uchiha, Sasuke said. You already know their names, that's no fun. He pulls out 3 cards. First up is Rock Lee. He's a year older than you. Has completed 11 degrees Celsius rank missions and 20 D-tank missions. His team joining is Guy, and in the last 12 months his taijutsu has grown exponentially. His other skills are shaky. Last year he chose to not take the Chunin exams. His teammates are Neji, Hyuga and Tenten, he said. Now for Gaara, he has completed 8 degrees Celsius ranks and get this, a B-rank mission, while not even being touched on a single mission. He said, shocking all the genin except Naruto, who was busy setting up an idea to capture Kabuto. Now Naruto Uchiha has completed 20 D-rank missions, 8 degrees Celsius rank missions, 2 billions rank missions, 2 A-rank missions, and has 3 seconds rank missions. However, one of them is ongoing. His skills are questionable, but he is said to be good at taijutsu and ninjutsu but not telling how good. His teammates are Shino Aburame and Hinata Hyuga, and his Junin sensei is Kurenai Yuhi. It is also said that he wields the Kubikir Bocho, the sword made famous by Zabuza Momochi, the demon of the mist. All the current genin in the room look at him in shock, while also figuring out how they didn't notice the giant sword on his back before. Tenten wanted to touch the sword, but Naruto stopped her and told her what would happen if the sword didn't deem her worthy, making her back off. Kiba spoke up. Loser, when did you get another A-rank mission in 3 seconds ranks? He asked angrily. Don't worry about it. He said. Kabuto just unintentionally solidified himself as a spy. He shouldn't have mission records or skills for that matter, those we all confidential to the Hokage and Junin sensei. Especially his 3 S-rank missions. One was for teaching the Hokage how to defeat paperwork. The other was finding one of Orochimaru's labs. The ongoing one was capturing Kabuto, who was a spy. He used his wind manipulation to discreetly cut off a piece of Kabuto's clothes. He would send a spy fox to spy on him later. He saw Kabuto get attacked by the same sound ninja that he saw the other day. Must be to keep any suspicions off of them, he thought. Alright, that's enough, no fighting, or I will kick you out. My name is Ibiki, and I am the proctor for this stage now. Grab a number, sit down, Ibiki yelled, and everybody ran to their seats after getting a number. Now the first part of the Chunin exams is a written test. Naruto slams his head on the desk. He hates written tests. You have 45 minutes to answer 9 questions. The final 10th question will be asked after time is up. If you're caught cheating 5 times, your team is eliminated and will be sent out. Now begin after 45 minutes and about 10 teams were eliminated, Ibiki spoke up. Alright, pencils down, it's time for the 10th question. Are you done playing with your puppet? He asked Kankuro, who looked scared at having been caught. Now you have the option to take the 10th question. However, if one person from a team refuses, you all fail. It doesn't matter if you get all 9 questions correct. If you choose to not take the 10th question, you will get a 0. But if you choose to take the question and get it wrong, you will never be able to take the Chunin exams ever again, Ibiki said. What kind of rule is that? There are plenty of people here who have taken the exams before, Kiba yelled, and Ibiki gave a hollowed laugh before answering. Well, you must be unlucky because I wasn't making the rules before, but I am now. Of course, if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. There's always the Chunin exams next year. Those who don't wish to take it, raise your hand. Your number will be recorded, and you may leave, he says after everybody leaves, that didn't want to take the 10th question left. He counted the people left. 78 people left. That's more than I expected. However, none of them show signs of giving up. I guess this is it, Ibiki thought. Now for all of you remaining, you pass, he said. Hold on, what just happened? What kind of rules are those? What do you mean we passed? Where's the 10th question? Sakura asked. There never was a 10th question, well, not a written one. Your decision to stay was the answer to the 10th question, Ibiki said. Huh? Hold on, so the other 9 questions were just a waste of time? Temari asked. However, Naruto grew tired of this, and answered the question. He wanted to leave the classroom. You blonde bimbo. He was gonna continue until a wave of sand flew at him. Watch how you talk or I'll kill you, Gaara said as his sand went towards Naruto. Naruto dodged and appeared in front of Gaara and punched him in the face. He broke through a layer of hard sand on Gaara's face, leaving a bruise that was slowly healing. The sand genin were shocked because nobody has ever gotten past Gaara's sand defense, let alone his sand armor. That's enough, I said, no fighting. You do it again and you're disqualified. Ibiki yelled. Gaara didn't listen and stood to attack Naruto again, but he couldn't move. Shikamaru has Gaara trapped in his shadow possession jutsu. After a few seconds, Gaara calms down and walks out of the jutsu like it was nothing. Now, as I was saying, the 9 questions served a purpose, most likely how to gather information without getting caught. Why do you think he put so much emphasis on getting caught? If you're going to be a ninja, you need stealth, and to know how to gather information quickly while in a hostile area. Now I think I covered it, so, who's the second proctor? Ibiki just smirked, and Naruto paled. Oh no. Ibiki can only nod. Naruto feels a certain chakra signature speeding towards the window, and a black blur breaks through the glass, revealing a cloth pinned to the ceiling, with the words "the sexy and happily taken Anko Mitarashi" on it. Naruto can only shake his head at his sister's antics, but he wouldn't want her to change. He notices her new outfit. Also, she kept her word that if she ever got a boyfriend, and it was steady, she would change. She kept the colors and trench coat. Now she still kept the mesh that covered her from the neck to her mid-thigh area. Now on top she wore tan shorts that went to her mid-thigh area like her mesh covering did, and a black t-shirt covering her upper body. Alright boys and girls, no time for celebrating. My name is Anko Mitarashi, and I am the proctor of the second part of the Chunin exams, she exclaims proudly. Anko, you're actually on time, what gives? Ibiki asked. I was cuddling up with my boyfriend. I thought I was going to be late, she said, and looked over at the teams remaining. She noticed Naruto, and gave him a quick smile that nobody caught. 78 people. Ibiki, you let 26 teams pass, you must be getting soft, she said. No, we have an interesting bunch this year, he said while staring at Naruto. Something Sasuke took offense to and let it be known. Why are you staring at that branch family loser? I'm stronger than him and every genin in here. He doesn't even have the sharingan like I do. He is nothing. Put your eyes on me, he said. However, Ibiki ignored him. Alright, if Mr. Temper Tantrum is done, we can move along now. Everybody head to training ground 44, the Chunin in the hallway will give you directions on how to get there. Nobody moved. Now. Everybody except Naruto rushed out of the room. Anko rushes him and gives him a hug that Naruto returns. How have you been, Naru-chan? I haven't seen you around lately, she asked. I've been on missions and training these past 4 months, but I need to talk to you both about something, he said seriously. They also got serious. We have a spy named Kabuto Yakushi in the exams, and he works for Orochimaru, who is also here. I felt his chakra here. It was dark and evil and reeks of snakes. I just don't know where he is now. He may be in the Chunin exams, but I can't be sure. I've talked to the old man, and he checked Kabuto's file. He was the adopted son of a former head medic, but every time during the Chunin exams, he always backed out at the last part. But I'm going to antagonize him into staying. I'll beat him up, and Gigi will have an Anbu disguised as nurse come and grab him. I'm going to send a spy fox to track him down and gather any information it can. This is an S-rank mission that will go on all of our files that we are getting a 10% pay boost on. Kabuto has information that is only confidential to the Hokage and the Junin sensei. Now we need to draw Orochimaru out in his disguise, he says, and tells them the plan to lure him out. After that, don't fight him, let him go. I'm sure Kabuto will seek him out. We need to know what his plan is, so don't fight him if you see him, Anko, he says. No promises, but I'll try, she says. Okay now Anko, after this I need to talk to you about something, but it can wait till after the third part, he says. Anko hugs him and kisses his cheek before disappearing. Naruto does as well. Training ground 44. Anko and Naruto arrive at the training ground, and Naruto immediately senses Orochimaru, and does Anbu hand signals to Anko he's here. She nods and begins her part of the exams. Alright kiddies, welcome to training ground 44, Anko says. This place looks kinda creepy, Sakura said, shaking. It should be. This place is called the Forest of Death. You'll find out why soon, Anko replied as they were talking. Naruto wasn't paying attention. Now was Anko's turn to act. She noticed Naruto not paying attention with a he isn't scared look on his face. Looks like we have a tough guy in the exams. I guess the forest isn't scary enough for you, she said. After a while Naruto didn't respond like he was supposed to, and a tick mark grew on her head. She took out a kunai and threw it at him, cutting his cheek. She vanished and appeared behind him and licked his blood. Guys like you are the first to die in this forest, she said out loud but whispered. Why didn't you respond? She asked. I needed to make it look more believable, he whispers back. Just then, Naruto and Anko feel somebody appear behind them. She pulls out another kunai and holds it up, but a long tongue appears over her shoulder. I was just returning your kunai, said a creepy Kusanin. After a brief stare off, Anko replies. Thanks Kusanin, but don't stand behind me so close, unless you want to die quickly. I'm sorry, but with the sight of blood, and your kunai cutting my hair, you couldn't help but get excited. My apologies. The ninja walks away. Anko returns to her spot in front of the forest. Naruto signs to her that was him. She nodded slightly so nobody noticed. Excitement must be in the air today for a lot of you, but do not let it get you killed. Or let it, I don't really care. Now these are waivers you must sign that say, we are not responsible for your death if you die in the forest. She said, you tough guy, pass these out, she said, handing Naruto the waiver forms. This part of the exam will test your survival skills. This forest has 44 entrance gates, and inside there are rivers, and in the middle of a forest is a tower 10 kilometers from each gate. This part will test your survival skills in an all-out battle for these scrolls, she said, and pulled out a Heaven and Earth scroll. You'll be fighting to get a Heaven and Earth scroll. Each team will start with either or, and your objective is to collect both scrolls and head to the tower in the middle of the forest. You have 5 days to gather the scrolls. If you do not gather the scrolls in 5 days, you fail, and have to find your own way out of the forest, she said. 5 days, Hino exclaimed. What are we supposed to do about food? Shoji asked. Find something in the forest, there's plenty of things to eat in there, Anko said. That's not all in there. There's also some man-eating animals and poisonous plants in there, Kabuto said. Aw man, Choji said. Well, you're a smart one. How did you know that those were in there? Anko asked, even though she already knew. Well, this is my 7th time taking it, he said. Wow, you must suck. Are you sure you're fit to be a ninja? Perhaps you should go work at a library or a nursing home as a helper, she asked, purposely pissing him off. No, I'm quite content to be a ninja. I'm feeling lucky this time around, so I'll be fine, Kabuto said, gritting his teeth at her insult. Oh well, if you say so. Now I need one person from each team to come and grab a scroll for your team and head to your designated gates and wait for the signal to go in. You can also be disqualified if you lose a team member, or if you open the scrolls before entering the tower, she said. After every team had their scroll and were at their gates, a timer went off and Anko spoke. Alright, the second part of the exams begins now. She exclaims. The gates open, and all the teams rush into the forest. Hang on guys, we need to stop, Naruto said to his team. Why do we need to stop, Naruto? Hinata asked. Because I need to do something, he replies. He bites his thumb and goes through hand signs, summoning jutsu. A pitch-black fox appears with 4 tails, and comes up to Naruto's thigh while standing on all 4s. You must be Naruto, our new summoner. I am called Midnight, a spy fox. What can I help you with? Midnight said. Nice to meet you, Midnight. I need you to spy on the scent of the person this belongs to, Naruto said as he unsealed the piece of fabric he cut off from Kabuto's shirt. Midnight sniffs it and is about to take off when he stops and looks at Shino. Get your bugs off of me before I eat them and hunt you down next, Midnight said, and 3 bugs fly off of him back to Shino. Thank you, I shall track this person for a couple days before returning to you, Naruto. With that said, Midnight vanishes into the shadows of the forest. Shino, what you did could have gotten you killed, if not by Midnight then by the Hokage himself. You were about to impede in an S-rank mission I've been assigned. I know you didn't know, but don't do that again. Shino only nods at this, understanding the situation better. Now we have a mist team heading straight towards us, most likely, because I have the Kubikiri Bocho. So do you guys want to take them on and head to the tower, or move to take on another team? He asked. I think we should wait for the mist team and beat them, then see what scroll they have before deciding. Hinata said it was a good plan, so they kept high in the trees to ambush them. They wanted to conserve strength just in case. 10 minutes later, this mist team jumped into the clearing. 2 boys and 1 girl who looked like the leader. I thought you said they would be here, said the shorter boy of the mist team. Yeah, I want that sword, but I wouldn't mind having a go with that Hyuga chick, the other said with a perverted grin. Shut up, I know they're here, but where? The female leader said. Behind you. A voice said. Next thing they knew, all of them were knocked out. Good plan, Shino, they were pretty easy to knock out, Naruto said as they began to search them, and luck was on their side. Hinata found a heaven scroll on the female ninja and also took the medical supplies they had. Okay, now that we have the scrolls, do we head straight for the tower or go halfway and camp out for the night and head to the tower the next day? Hinata asked Naruto, said it was up to them, he would follow their lead. So they both agreed to make it halfway and camp before in the afternoon. They begin to travel when Anko's chakra appears and starts to drop. Damn it, Anko! Here, take this seal and make camp somewhere. I need to go and do something. It's about that S-rank mission, so don't even think about it. Shino. Naruto said he gave him the privacy seal and vanished towards Anko's chakra when he got there. She was panting heavily while Orochimaru had some difficulty breathing, but not as bad as Anko. Well, Anko, it appears you still can't match me, although you've greatly improved. I've already marked the Uchiha with my curse seal. So don't cancel the exams. If you do, I will destroy the Leaf Village. Now to finish you off. He pulled out a kunai and charged at Anko, preparing to kill her, but was kicked back and hit a tree, coughing up some blood from the impact. He looked up to see Naruto staring him down with a blank face. "Ah, Naruto-kun. I was wondering when I would meet you. It turns out today is my lucky day. I get to give my curse mark to more than one Uchiha," Orochimaru said while licking his lips. "Yeah, about your curse mark, you can try to put it on me if you want. Here, I'll even give you a free shot," he said and tilted his head to the right. Orochimaru, believing Naruto was bluffing, rushed Naruto and bit into his neck. Well, he tried to, but something kept him about 2 inches from Naruto's neck, shocking him that this was happening. Naruto, taking his moment of shock, knees him in the gut, and gave him a drop kick, knocking back into the tree. Something cracked and Orochimaru fell to the ground, but his mouth opened, and another Orochimaru came out. "Kuku, I'm impressed, Naruto-kun. A mere genin forced me to age my skin. I wonder who is stronger, you or Sasuke-kun. Although he has the Sharingan, I will say he is stronger than you. I fought him at low chunin speed, so I'll try that much against you." Orochimaru took off at low chunin speed. However, before he could get halfway, he felt a fist in his stomach and looked down to see Naruto with a smirk. "Don't underestimate me just because I'm not using the Sharingan. I can still keep up." With that, they both blurred away at mid-chunin level, and Orochimaru was shocked that Naruto was still keeping up with him. Every punch that connected against Naruto he got hit as well, and it was vice versa, so he kicked it up to low jonin. And Naruto was still keeping up with him, but his dodging was becoming easier and striking precision was becoming sharper. He knew he couldn't increase his chakra levels no further than what they were at, unless the envy would be on him, and he didn't want to deal with them, so he used his true speed, which was Kage level, and hit Naruto with a straight jab, stunning him and grabbing him by the neck, and noticed his seal on the stomach. He smirked before channeling chakra to his hand and saying, "Five-pronged seal." He slaps his hand on Naruto's seal, and Naruto lets out a silent scream, and Orochimaru kicks him away before turning his attention to Anko. "I can tell the Anbu are on the way, however I shall leave you with my parting gift." He lifted his hand and channeled chakra, trying to activate Anko's cursed seal, but to his shock nothing happened. "What's going on? Why isn't her mark activating?" he thought. "You lose, Orochimaru. The seal is gone and the Anbu are on the way," she said, getting into her fighting stance. "Now how about round 2? He gritted his teeth and spoke. "I will be back. Don't forget what I said about canceling the Chunin exams." He vanished after that, and 5 seconds later, a boar-masked Anbu and cat arrived. "He's long gone already, and attacked one of our genin, Naruto," she said. "It's not our problem that some stupid kid decided to challenge Orochimaru. Hell, I wouldn't feel bad if the kid was dead. We would be better off with him around," Boar said. "Is that a fact, Boar? Perhaps you would like to fight me next. You've been in the Anbu since I was 4, yet you haven't even made Anbu captain or second in command. It makes me wonder how strong you really are," Naruto said from behind Boar, since Cat was busy checking Anko for wounds. Hearing this going on, Anko chimed in as well. "I would like to see that, Boar. You talk a big game, yet you never really back it up when challenged, so what's it gonna be? Are you going to fight or not?" she said, standing. Boar said nothing and left. Cat shook her head and sighed. "I seriously don't understand how he is in the Anbu. Still, nobody in the division likes him," she said. "Anyway, are you alright, Naruto? You look a mess." "Yeah, I'm fine. I had a clone remove the 5-pronged seal he put on me already. My control may take a hit for a few hours. I need to go meet up with my team. I'll see you guys later." He vanished. "So how good was he fighting against Orochimaru?" Cat asked. "I don't know, all they used was taijutsu." However, Orochimaru said he went as Sasuke at low chunin level, and even bragged about him having his Sharingan, and Naruto didn't, but me and you know he already has it matured. Which is true. Anko, Yugao, Kurenai, Hinata, Shino and the Hokage are the only people that know about his matured Sharingan. However, only Anko knew about his Mangekyo and the ending result of it. However, when he tried to rush him at low chunin, he already had Naruto's fist in his stomach. Naruto said not to underestimate him just because he isn't using his Sharingan. Orochimaru didn't pick up on this, so they took of it mid-chunin, and he was still keeping up. Eventually they reached low Junin speed, and Naruto still kept up with him. Mind you, all this is without his Sharingan active. But as the fight went on, I don't know what it was, but this pressure started to come off of Naruto. It was like ki, but it was calm and relaxed. But Orochimaru blurred away at his full speed to end it, since he felt U2 coming, and slapped the 5-pronged seal on Naruto and left. He also tried to mark Naruto after he taunted him, and gave him a free shot, but it didn't work for some reason. He did mark Sasuke though, and threatened to not cancel the exams. Cat nodded, taking all of this in. "We need to go see the Hokage about this." Anko nodded, and they left in a swirl of leaves. Naruto reaches his team's campground and let out a pulse of chakra in code, letting them know it was him. The barrier opens and he enters, but sees Hinata's clothes wrinkled, and Shino had his glasses crooked on his face. Naruto gave them a knowing smile, making them both blush. "No kind of sex was involved, was it?" he asked as they both shook their heads. "We're too young. I'm not ready for that. We were only kissing," Hinata said, blushing. That's right, besides in my clan sex is not allowed until you are 15 as well as your partner. I'm 14, so I have another year as well as Hinata, since she will be 14 in 6 months. Shino says. Naruto nods at that. His birthday was also in about 4 months. Turning 14 he almost forgot. Naruto unseals some bento boxes with fish, rice and mixed vegetables, and some bottles of water. They eat and talk for another hour before falling asleep. Next morning they woke up and Hinata asked Naruto a question that's been bugging her. Naruto, she said. Yeah, Hinata, what's up? He asked. Why don't you use your sharingan? It's like you're ashamed of your heritage. That's almost like me never using the Byakugan, she said. Honestly, I never use it because of the way the Uchiha clan was. I don't want to be lumped up with them, I guess. Why do you think I should start using it? He asked. I think you should. You were never raised by the Uchiha clan or grew up in the Uchiha way. Your mother is the only Uchiha you should be worried about. Despite her being gone, she is still watching you, and I would like to think she would want you to be afraid of using your heritage. Hinata said. She's right, Naruto. I wouldn't, said a voice neither of them recognized. They turned around and saw a lady with long black hair with a bang in between her eyes, with 2 other bangs tucked behind her ears so the rest wouldn't fall in her face. She is about 2 inches taller than Naruto, and is giving off a warm smile only a mother can give off. Shino and Hinata have no idea who this lady is, but Naruto does. He rushed and gave her a hug. Mom, he said, hugging her. My little maelstrom, let me take a look at you, she said, crying as she looked him over. He was a combination of both her and Minato. He had Minato's hair, nose and eyes, but had her hair color and jawline. You look so handsome, she said, hugging him again. I don't have much time. Kami only gave me 5 minutes to see you. So I have to ask, why are you holding back? And don't try to argue. I know you are holding back, she said in a no-nonsense tone. Naruto, what does she mean you're holding back your strength? Hinata was confused and Shino was also interested. He put up a barrier to keep them from getting ambushed. What she means is I'm not at mid-Chunin level like you two. I'm actually mid-Junin level. I only say mid-Junin because of my lack of experience, but if I go all out I can go toe-to-toe with Kakashi, but he still might win because he's fought in a war and has more experience than me. But it would be by the skin of his teeth. They had their jaws on the ground. Now tell them about your eyes. I know you want to keep them a secret, but they have to know what you're going to go through in the future, his mother said. So he told them about his mangekyo, and how he will eventually start to lose his eyesight until he gets an eye transplant. Now Naruto, hearing all of that, I am here to tell you, you are downgrading your strength right now. You are stronger than Kakashi. I talked to Shisui, he said you're almost as strong as he was, and before he died he was at low Sannin level, so you don't have to worry about anybody eating you in the village, except Hiruzen, and the one-eyed pedophile. And you know why? I said Danzo, she said. He knows about Danzo stealing sharingan from the Uchiha dead bodies after the massacre, but without secure evidence he can't do anything about it. Also, thank you for taking the curse seal off of Koko-chan. Your father and godmother would have done it, but they died. It was a good thing you were left the Uzumaki sealing scrolls. She said she started to fade and they all knew what was happening. I guess it's time for me to go now, Naruto, and stop hiding your sharingan. You should be proud to be an Uchiha, if not be proud that you are my son. I won't say use your mangekyo, however, don't be afraid to show that you have your sharingan matured. Now go and show them what the student of Shisui the teleporter can do. I love you, Naruto. I wish you the best in life, and 2 more things. Number 1, go ask Hiruzen about your father. And number 2, she is still alive in Kumo. She was just leaving the wave when you arrived. You missed her by 2 minutes. Don't worry, I have a feeling you will see her in the future. Those were her final words, before she disappeared. Hinata went and put a hand on his shoulder and smiled at him. He understood now, no more hiding. His sharingan flared to life, the 3 tomos spinning. He dropped the barrier and said 2 words. Let's go. Shino and Hinata nodded as they hopped into the trees going to the tower. On the way he felt Sakura's chakra signature drop, and they made their way to them to see what was going on. They arrived and saw Kiba knocked out, as well as Sasuke. Sakura looked like she went through hell and her hair was even cut. They noticed Lee looking beat up, and Naruto noticed Tenten being held back by Neji, so he decided to take action. He jumped down into the clearing with his sharingan activated and glared at the 3 sound shinobi. Shino and Hinata dropped down to help, but Naruto told them to check on Kiba, Lee, and Sakura. They sound shinobi were shocked the other Uchiha showed up but has a 3-tomo sharingan. The sound shinobi with black gravity-defying hair spoke up. You leaf ninja just keep appearing out of nowhere. Oh well, more people for me to play with. He said. Another tried to stop him. Zaku, wait. But it was too late. He had already pointed his hands at Naruto. Decapitating airwaves. He blew a strong gust of wind at Naruto, who didn't move, and got hit by the blast. Naruto! Yelled Sakura, Rock Lee, Hinata, Ino, Choji, Shikamaru, who were also there but not injured, and Tenten. However, a gust of wind blew the smoke away, revealing Naruto, who was standing there with his arms crossed. Is that all you can do? He asked. Zaku got pissed. No, this is... He was about to do another jutsu, but his arm had a kunai lodged where the air came out and got a kick to the side of the head and knocked out by Naruto. Nobody saw him move except Lee and Neji, who barely saw him due to his Byakugan being activated. He's fast. But that means nothing, Neji thought. He's almost as fast as me without my weights on, Lee thought. The other sound ninja both were shocked by how easy it was for Naruto to defeat Zaku. Here is our scroll, take it, we don't want to cause any more trouble, the mummy-looking sound ninja said, placing the earth scroll on the ground, and picked up his teammate. The other followed after him. Get down here right now, Naruto said out loud, confusing everyone before Neji and Tenten dropped down. Tenten immediately went to scolding Lee, while Naruto glared at Neji. Why didn't you help your teammate? Instead you chose to hold Tenten back. It was not our fight. If he was foolish enough to jump in that fight, then he should deal with the consequences, Neji said arrogantly. Next thing he knew, a fist knocked the air out of him, making him drop to his knees. If you're foolish enough to say something like that around me, then you deal with the consequences, Naruto said and went to check on everybody. After 10 minutes everybody was patched up, and Kiba tried to fight Naruto, but everybody minus Neji told him not to, but he didn't listen and charged at Naruto, who punched him in the nose, ending that little fight. They were all about to leave when a sinister chakra came from the tree Sasuke was under. He came out with black markings and purple chakra around him that was dark and sinister. This power he gave me. I can feel it growing stronger every second that passes. He looks around and sees everybody moving back from the sinister chakra except Naruto, who just stands there. Naruto, I want to test this new power out against you, he said with a cruel smile, and activated his sharingan with one tomo in his right eye and two in his left eye. The others are about to step in, but Naruto holds his hand out at them. Stay out of this. It was going to happen sooner or later. Let him have some fun. You all know what I'm capable of when I'm not even trying, he said, getting nods from the others. He motions for Sasuke to come at him due to his curse mark. His speed increased to mid-chunin, and every punch or kick he threw at Naruto was dodged easily, so he jumped back and went through hand signs. Fire-style fireball jutsu. He blew a large fireball at Naruto, who covered his hand in water chakra, putting the fireball out, shocking everyone looking at him. He vanished in a shunshin and put Sasuke in a chokehold until he passed out. Everyone was in shock at how easy he took Sasuke out. Naruto dropped the extra earth scoop and his team left for the tower. It didn't take them long. They were the second team there. The Suna team was the first to make it. They had 3 days left, so they relaxed. 3 days later they are in the Chunin exam stadium. The Hokage starts to go through his speech about the true meaning of the Chunin exams until Naruto raises his hand. Yes, Naruto, Hiruzen said. I don't want to be disrespectful, but at the same time I want to, so can you speed it up? I don't think any of us are paying attention, and you are pretty old. Maybe you should take a seat and let us get started. Besides, we both know you don't like saying the stupid speech, he said, shocking everyone that he can just talk to the Hokage like that. Fine, Naruto. Hayate, you're up, he said, and Hayate arrived. Alright, my name is Hayate, and I'm the proctor for this part of the exam. Since there are still too many of you, we need to have an elimination tournament of one-on-one matches until there are a certain amount left. Now if anybody wants to quit, you may do so now, he said. Kabuto was the first to raise his hand to the shock of Sakura, Sasuke, and Kiba. Alright, you got me, I give up, he said. Kabuto, why are you quitting? Sakura asked. I'm low on chakra right now from too much fighting. I can't go on any further. He was about to leave until Naruto spoke up. Or is it because you're a pussy? Naruto said, causing Kabuto to stop walking. What did you say? He asks in a low, cold tone. You heard me. I thought you were feeling lucky. I never knew your mother raised you to quit like a bitch. She must be disappointed in you. I mean, you claim you're out of chakra, yet you're not even breathing heavy. If you're a pussy, just say so and we will understand. But if you aren't a pussy, stay and fight like a man. Unless of course you want to go find a man so you can have him fondle your balls and play with your asshole if you like that. I'm not judging, everyone has their own preferences, he said. Proctor, I changed my mind, I will fight, Kabuto said and got back in line. Okay, anybody else that wants to quit? Hayate asked, and Sakura and Ino raised their hands and said they weren't ready to be a Chunin yet, so they walked up to the balcony. Sakura told Sasuke to back out so he can get his mark checked out, and he refused. Anko was having the same thoughts, but Kakashi argues against her, so she just dropped it. If he wants his student to have the curse mark, so be it. Okay, since 2 people dropped out, somebody will have to fight 2, maybe 3 times, and somebody may not fight at all if the person fights 3 times. Does anybody want to take that chance of fighting 2, maybe 3 times? I do, Naruto said, raising his hand. Hayate nodded and Anko presented a board. This board will randomly select 2 names. Once your name appears, you and your opponent will come down to the arena for your match. The matches go on until I say stop. Killing is allowed, but we will try to avoid it, Hayate said as the board starts to go through names. It selects 2 names, Kiba, Inuzuka, vs Naruto, Uchiha. Will Kiba and Naruto stay in the arena? Everyone else go up to the balcony and wait your turn. Hayate said. Everyone leaves except Naruto and Kiba. I hope you're ready to go down, you street rat. It's time that you learned your place in this world, Kiba said. Start the match, was all Naruto said. Okay, match number 1 between Kiba Inuzuka and Naruto Uchiha begins, Hayate said and jumped away. Now up on the balcony. Kakashi decided to taunt Team 8 while Sasuke activated his sharingan to try and copy some of Naruto jutsus. He would soon be disappointed. Your student might as well back out now, Kurenai. I've managed to get Kiba's taijutsu up to almost mid-Chunin level, which is almost as good as yours, and you're a Junin. So unless you were able to train Naruto, I don't think he will win, Kakashi said while reading his book. Oh, I hate to burst your bubble, but Naruto beat me in a spar in taijutsu and I was going all out, and it didn't look like he was trying much. So the past 4 months, while you were reading your smut, I was training my team with the help of Anko in our taijutsu and ninjutsu. My taijutsu is almost as good as Anko, and I've learned some ninjutsu. However, Naruto is the strongest on the team, including me. The only people I think would be able to beat Naruto in a taijutsu fight are Guy, Jiraiya, and the Sandeme. At the least overall I would put Naruto at your level, while Shino and Hinata are mid-Chunin overall. She said, shocking everyone present that she, a rookie Junin, had the strongest Genin team, maybe even stronger than Guy's team. Sakura decides to speak up. There's no way those Bakas are stronger than Sasuke-kun. I bet you're just making that up. So, she was cut off by Kurenai putting a silencing seal on her. What Kurenai says is true. Sakura, was it? Tenten asked, getting a nod from Sakura, who couldn't speak. Didn't you see what he did to Sasuke in the forest? It's not even fair to compare them. He completely toyed with him, she said. Tenten, what do you mean by that? Guy asked. What I mean is, whatever happened to Sasuke in the forest gave him a major power boost, and he fought Naruto moving at mid-Chunin speed, but Naruto dodged every attack like it was nothing. Sasuke got mad and shot a large fireball Butsu Naruto, who just lifted his hand and caught it while putting it out. I don't know how he did it, but it was the coolest thing I've ever seen. Tenten said everyone was shocked by this and returned to watch the match, but it was already over. 2 minutes earlier, Akamaru, stay out of this. I won't need you for him. I'll take him in one blow. Kiba said Naruto stayed quiet and built up some wind chakra, ninja art, beast mimicry, all fours jutsu. Kiba came charging at him in low Chunin speed, however Naruto stopped him with his jutsu. Wind style, sonic boom jutsu. Kiba was stuck in a tunnel of wind while small crescent blades of wind cut him up. The jutsu ended, and Kiba fell to the ground cut up and in pain. He stood up but found a fist in his stomach. His eyes rolled to the back of his head, and he was knocked out. Winner Naruto Uchiha. Everybody was stunned but Anko, who was cheering for Naruto. He went up to the balcony, and everyone was staring at him. What? He asked. We learned about your little fight with Sasuke, Kurenai said, pissing Sasuke off. Oh, is all he said. Is that all you have to say? Hino asked. Yeah, it is. I have a question, Fishcake. Tenten asked, his eye twitched and everyone chuckled at the nickname. What is it, Panda-chan? He asked. How did you catch his fireball and put it out like that? She asked. I'm surprised you don't remember. When we were in the orphanage and would play ninja, I would always catch the imaginary fireball and throw it back, or put it out. I was training one day and figured I'd give it a try. I used a shadow clone, of course, and after a lot of test runs and experiments with chakra natures, I figured it out. I can catch it and throw it back with fire nature chakra, or I can catch it and put it out with water chakra, he said. Wait, you mean to tell me you got that idea from a game we played as kids? She said. Yeah, pretty much. He said they were cut off by the next match being announced. Will Yorori Akato and Sasuke Uchiha please come down? Hayate announced. Yorori, after a brief talk with his sensei, who Naruto knew was Orochimaru, that was the worst disguise, ever walked down to the arena. Orochimaru looked up, felt someone looking at him and met Naruto's eyes. Naruto decides to mess with him by activating his 3 Tomoe Sharingan. Orochimaru had an angry look on his face since his curse mark couldn't get placed on Naruto. Then a look of realization was on his face. He was holding back in the forest when we fought. Orochimaru thought Naruto, seeing Orochimaru, understood, just smirked, and only caught the end of Sasuke's match. Lion's barrage. He kicked Yorori in the stomach as he fell to the ground, knocking him out. Winner Sasuke Uchiha, Hayate said. Kakashi then grabbed Sasuke and disappeared with him, most likely to seal his curse mark. Good luck dealing with Orochimaru, Naruto thought as he noticed Orochimaru left as well. The next match was announced. Shino Aburame versus Zaku. Can both contestants come down? Hayate announced. Shion won the fight by exploding Zaku's arms with bugs and trapping him underground with the headhunter jutsu. After the match, Kakashi reappeared with no Sasuke. Next match was Temari versus Tenten. Naruto spoke up. Tenten, this is the worst possible fight for you. She is a wind user and can blow away your weapons. Try to get in close and force her to use taijutsu instead. Tenten nodded and went down to begin the match. It was a good match. Tenten did get in close and forced her to use taijutsu, but Temari managed to kick her away and use her wind ninjutsu. She used one similar to Naruto's sonic boom jutsu, but she needed a weasel to cause the cuts. She let Tenten fall out the air and tried to break her spine with her fan. She stood up underneath where she was falling, but Naruto jumped and caught her standing on the fan, shocking Temari and everyone else but Guy and the Hokage because they didn't see him move. Only those two did. Shikamaru fought the girl from the sound team and trapped her in his shadow possession jutsu, and forced her to bang her head on the wall, knocking her out. Next match was Hinata versus Neji. They both made it to the fighting area, where Neji tried to belittle Hinata, but was surprised it didn't work. They settled into their gentle fist stances. Although Hinata's was different, she was leaning to the left with her left knee bent and her right leg stretched out with body twisted slightly, her hands in the air. Her left arm was more up, with her hands pointed down at the ground. Neji spoke up. "That is not the gentle fist stance. Are you that much of a disgrace to the clan that you can't even use the proper fighting stance?" he said arrogantly. "This is my version of the gentle fist. I call it the flowing gentle fist. The traditional style you other Hyuga use is too stiff for my body type," Hinata explained. "It does not matter, you are fated to stay a loser your entire life," Neji said. Hayate started the match, and Neji rushed at Hinata, but was shocked when she twisted around his attack, and hit him with 2 palm strikes in his back. He glared at her, and they picked up the speed. After a while, Hinata noticed she wasn't closing his tenketsu after a while, and noticed her arms were practically useless. She raised her hand and forfeited the match, stating it was pointless to continue if she can't properly use her arms. Neji didn't like this and stuck her in the chest. He tried to strike her heart, but she pushed his hand to the side and he hit the other side of her chest. No major damage was done, but she collapsed but stood back up, shocking everyone but Shino and Naruto. She coughed up blood as she spoke. "It's a shame that someone as talented as yourself can't even be satisfied when the opponent gives up that you have to attack once my guard is down and the match is over. I guess you were mad that I'm able to go toe-to-toe with you using a style that is only 4 months old. Oh well, I believe I've made my point." With that she turned and walked before collapsing to a knee, coughing up blood. Neji, seeing this, took out a kunai and rushed her from behind, but was stopped by all the Junin present. "Look at this, the main branch getting special treatment yet again," Neji snarled. "No, you're wrong, dipshit. We just saved your life. Turn to the right and you'll see what I mean," Anko said from behind him. He turned around and saw Anko basically tackling Naruto at his waist, and the third Hokage's personal Anbu cat blocking the Kubikiribocho with her own sword that was an inch from taking his head off. "Neji, you better hope we don't fight in the second round. And by the way, you all forgot about our other teammate. Look at Neji's legs and you'll see what I mean." Naruto said. They looked down, and sure enough, Neji's feet were trapped by an earth jutsu, with Shino having a kunai at his spine. However, Naruto was holding his wrist. "Whatever, you're fated to lose to me no matter how strong you are," Neji arrogantly said. The Junin let him go, and Shino dropped his earth jutsu, and Neji left back to the stands. Hinata was taken to the hospital to be checked out. Next match was Kankuro versus some leaf genin nobody knew existed, Misumi, other than Misumi becoming a human rubber band, and Kankuro revealing his control over puppets. It was anticlimactic. Next match was shown, Kabuto versus Naruto. Both smirked at this Kabuto because he was going to make Naruto eat his words, and Naruto because he was about to inflict some serious damage to Kabuto, and had a plan to make sure he couldn't forfeit as soon as the match started, which unknown to him was what Kabuto was going to do. After a few minutes of fighting, they both made it to the fighting area, where Naruto quickly threw 4 kunai into the walls surrounding them. "What was that for, Naruto? Planning something already?" Kabuto asked mockingly to get under Naruto's skin, but it didn't work. Actually, just a little barrier so you can't weasel your way out of this fight. It's a privacy barrier people can see in, but no quitting early, because no sound will be able to come from the barrier, and you can't hide in the ground as well. The barrier goes into the ground as well. "You said you were feeling lucky earlier, so I wanted to test you," he said inwardly. Kabuto and Orochimaru were relieved. They thought he figured out Kabuto was a spy. However, Anko, Naruto, and Hiruzen knew he was. They had Inoichi on standby for a mind walk at the TNI department. "The match between Kabuto and Naruto may begin now." Hayate jumped away as the barrier formed. Kabuto smirked, not believing what Naruto said was true. "I forfeit, I can't win against him, he's too strong." However, Hayate just stood there. Naruto smirked. "Told you already, you can't escape now, let's begin." He activates his sharingan, showing 3 tomos, shocking all the Junin, except Kurenai and Anko. He rushed at Kabuto at low Junin speeds, to everyone's shock. When Kabuto sent a punch at Naruto, it went right through him. Naruto appeared behind him and kicked him in the back hard, sending Kabuto into the barrier that shocked him. "Oh yeah, I forgot, if you touch the barrier you get a shock." Kabuto, getting tired of being made to look like a joke, decided to go at him with full strength and activated his chakra scalpels and rushed him. Naruto decided to make it look believable, so he avoided any shots to vital areas, and allowed Kabuto to hit him a few times. He knew they will heal up by the time the match is over. After a while, Naruto decided to use some ninjutsu. Wind style, air slash. He coated his hand in wind chakra and slashed his hand upward, sending an arc of chakra at Kabuto, who barely dodged it but still got cut up on his side. Naruto, however, didn't let up. He went through 3 hand signs. Fire style, fire breath jutsu. He shot out a stream of fire at Kabuto, who jumped up to avoid it, but his right leg got burned, and he yelled out and however was not done. He held his hand up and created something like a spear made of lightning chakra, and threw it. Lightning javelin. The javelin hit Kabuto and pierced his shoulder into the barrier. He was electrocuted, and felt double the pain as nerves we shot, and he passed out. Naruto dropped the barrier. I win. He said the medic came and took Kabuto, but Naruto sensed the medic had no emotions. Quickly using Anbu signs, he told the Hokage, and left after the Anbu. He found the Anbu with Kabuto, and killed the Anbu. He took Kabuto to Inoichi. Inoichi knew he only had 3 minutes, so he went in and got what he needed and covered his tracks. Kabuto's mind looked how it did before Inoichi entered his mind. He nodded to Naruto, who took Kabuto to the medic bay at the stadium. He felt Orochimaru coming and suppressed his chakra before leaving undetected. He made it back in time to see the next match being called. He guessed Choji lost, but they said Choji did impress the judges in his match versus Dosu by the way he fought, and had to come up with plans on the fly. It was a good 10-minute match, they said. He didn't even know he was gone that long. Naruto versus Rock Lee. This match will begin in 2 minutes, giving Naruto some time to catch his breath. Hayate, said Lee and Guy. For the past 2 minutes were going on about the flames of youth, and Naruto just sat there meditating, getting his breathing under control and let his wounds heal up, which took 45 seconds for them to be done. So he just sat there meditating, and people tried to talk to him, but Anko and Kurenai told them to stop and leave him be. They both knew why Naruto was acting like this. His taijutsu was mostly self-taught from his mother's scroll. He was going up against the student of a taijutsu master, who Naruto had no doubt was the strongest genin besides himself, in terms of taijutsu. If they had to guess, Naruto knew he would struggle if Lee knew how to open any of the celestial gates after the second gate. A buzzer was heard, and the 2 minutes were up. It was time for the final match of the exhibition matches. Will Rock Lee and Naruto Uchiha please come to the fighting area, Hataite announced. Lee became serious, having been wanting to fight Naruto since he saw them in the forest. Naruto simply stabbed the Kubikuribocho in the ground, and left his weapons pouch with the sword, and put gravity seals on them so nobody would steal them. They both looked at each other seriously, and turned and walked down opposite sets of stairs into the fighting area. The final match of the exhibition matches between Rock Lee and Naruto Uchiha. He said, begin. And guys, this is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed well. Until next time, peace.
No, yo estoy haciendo trampa. ¿Cómo yo estoy haciendo trampa? Tengo que tener que ponerte para lo tuyo. ¿Te pasa, Luis? No.